Welcome to the Hop Edition podcast, brought to you in association with the Malt Miller, your go-to choice for premium homebrewing ingredients and equipment. Whether you're a beginner starting out or an experienced brewer, the Malt Miller has got you covered. So for top quality products and customer service, jump over to themaltmiller.co.uk and tell them the Hop Edition sent you. We would also like to thank all our Patreons for their continued support with running and developing the pod. If you would like to become a member and gain access to exclusive perks and benefits, head over to patreon.com/the Hop Edition. Now it's time to get this pod started, so crack open a homebrew and enjoy the episode.
Yeah, it's about that time. It's about that time for Christmas special. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
For those of you, you may have noticed we have an interloper. We have a strange face who's joined us on this podcast.
Strange?
We have Big Banana. We've got Steven Burton with us.
I think I must be in the wrong room. I just came in here to go to the toilet. That's all.
What
What are you doing here?
We're doing a podcast, mate, and you're staying for all of it.
Okay. Well, as long as I can. I've seen you in action with all these beers, pounding them, so I'll stay as long as I can hold on.
I'm not being funny, you're Irish. You should be able to drink us under the table, mate. Stop being a pussy. Right.
Okay.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to episode 83 of the Hop Edition podcast. Tonight we are going to be talking through our year in beer. It's a big old reflection of 2023. It's been a pretty big year for the podcast, this one, I have to say. And to help us see in the festive period, we got Biggie B with an amazing jumper. Are they beer deers or rain beers?
They're rain beers.
Rain beers. Rain beers. Rain beers.
A special effort. Look, I've got a Christmas tree and everything in the background. I've really pushed the boat out here just for you four. Everybody obviously watching this.
And I'm in the shed still, and everybody else is warm, and I'm freezing. So before we get started, we have to give a quick shout out to our wonderful sponsor, the Malt Miller. They have everything you could possibly need for home brewing, including barbecue stuff and sourdough making stuff and every malt known to man. So, and yeast and hop.
Coffee.
And they've got coffee as well, haven't they?
Actually, I put coffee in, yep. Recent.
Yeah. So hit them up if you need anything. Let them know the Hop Edition sent you, because that's how we roll. But remember, there is also a dedicated Hop Edition recipe section that are featured on the podcast, including our own creations and some absolute stunners from our guests. All right. They also currently have impressive discounts on shiny shit, like Andy's shiny shit.
Yeah, they've got
Proper shiny.
Yeah, and it's from SS Brewtech and Brewbuilt. So go and grab a bargain really quick before the wife finds out. Tell her Santa sent it. Claim ignorance. I don't know anything about it. Just go, right?
Just say Chris sent it to you.
Yeah, people believe you if you did that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And finally, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Somebody's going to be putting the links up right about now. You can stay up to date with all of our announcements, as well as interacting with the podcast during our live streams. You can find the links for all the socials in the description of the audio video. If this is the audio version that you listen to, you can find them in the chat right now on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook. If you don't know where they are, just send us a message. One of us will send you to it. Now, I have to cover this bit before anyone else talks. I realize I'm hogging the mic, but there is a beer kit giveaway from the Malt Miller going off tonight for those of you on the live stream only. If you're listening to the recorded version of this, you should have clicked like, click subscribe, click the bell, and click to be on here on the Saturday when we were doing it. The first person to comment or message bingo in capitals with an exclamation mark after completing the Millington bingo, right, will win a kit of our choice from the Malt Miller. Okay, from the Hop Edition section on the Malt Miller. Owen and Andy are the two people that I have decided are going to monitor this. So if they haven't ticked it off on their list, you can't tick it off on yours. You won't know if they have, And if you say bingo too early, you're not going to get it, okay? So you can't just shout it out whenever you want to. Anyway, thanks to all of our Patreons as well. We love all of our Patreons. Everybody who's been a Patreon this year, thank you very much. Have a beer. We love you all. And now let's go stuck into tonight's pod. And I'm going to shut up and have a drink for a bit. So somebody else take over.
Can I say something? Is it me?
Yeah,
okay,
go for it.
I'll start. Okay, when I'm sober, I'm just going to try and be nice. So, long time listener, first time caller, all that bullshit. Sorry, I've swore already. Oh my God. So I just want to say that I've been listening to for years and years. I mean, it must be nearly 4 years. I think this is going on now, is it? Almost.
2020 was it? It started of 2018.
Into 4 years next year. So, wow. So I just want to say it's excellent. It started off good and it's just got better and better as the years have gone on. And the kind of caliber of guests that you get these days are very good. It's startling who you're getting. And then you've invited me on for some reason. I'm not really sure. So it's nice to see that
It was the people's choice, Stevie, by popular demand. So don't do yourself down.
People know that I'm an artist. That's what it is. A very
Piss artist, yeah.
That's artist. That's the one. So that's why they want me on. So that's my little bit. So anyway, hello, I'm here.
Stevie, my absolute highlight this year was you singing in your shed. And you're singing away in, and then it cuts to outside, and you can just hear it from the outside.
Oh, yes.
You're just singing to yourself.
The Golden Girls, that was that one, wasn't it? That was the big birthday bash, yeah.
I think you've got to be taking the accolade for most entertaining man in homebrew, Stevie.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Well, the thing about homebrew and BrewTube is like people do take it a bit too seriously, to be fair. And all it is beer. I mean, basically, you're just pissing it up the wall, aren't you? So I try not to. My channel's not really. I wouldn't say it's not serious, but it's a mixed bag. But like that, try to stay away from all the kind of the tutorial videos and all that type of thing. There's better people on this call that's good at that rather than me. So I just fuck about and sing songs. Show me art every now and again.
That's
Keep
what we
it going,
want.
buddy. We love it.
Have you noticed the comment from Dr. Sam? She's way up in the Hebrides and she said, I'm going to try and get the accent right. Please don't laugh at me too much. It's good to see the big man from Northern Ireland on.
Northern Ireland. That's the
Northern
one.
Ireland.
Hello, Sam. Hello, Doc. Should say.
So
She
for
literally
anyone
is a
listening who isn't already subscribed, do go and jump onto Steve's channel, Big Banana Brewing. Got to take the opportunity to give you a shout out for that at this point, and let's drop a little link.
Just watch that fly up by three.
Yeah,
Maybe
it will
Three.
be absolute avalanche of about 4 new subscribers over the next week.
We can guarantee you at least 3 more subscribers, Steve.
Can I just say
You're
to our
welcome.
Australian,
Merry Christmas.
our Australian and our Kiwi listeners, okay, I know that you guys like a good laugh. I know that you appreciate humor, and I know that you don't mind swearing, since the most common used word in Australia is cunt. So please go and subscribe to Biggie's channel and have a listen, because number one, it's fucking hilarious. I don't want to say this in front of the other 3 guys, but the only person whose videos I actually watch every single time they're released is Biggie B's. I don't watch Tricky's. I don't watch anyone else's. I just watch Biggie's.
I thought it was Owen's videos.
I watch Owen's, but he hasn't released one for about 18 months. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I did release one, but then it was the same one as everybody else released on the same day. Like, I was really excited when I seen Owen had posted a video too, and it's like, oh, and I was like, oh, see everybody else.
hang on a sec, because it looks like Brett just notified the first tick in Millington Bingo. Right, I do believe that Owen has done a sheet. Have you done a sheet, or is it just all the comments?
No,
A shite or a sheet?
I've done both today. No, the Millington Bingo is in the chat. Apologies for the format. There are bullet points. Note it down.
Yeah, you might want to copy that out for yourself, because it's going to disappear up the
Up the chat.
list. Up the chat.
Up the chat, mate. There is 9 in total. Also, have we mentioned we will be running a quiz later? Talking of sheets, I have created a Google form for that, so we'll post that in the chat later. So that's very formal. I hope it works. Forgive me if it doesn't.
If you're on trigger.
And Chris came up with the questions, so if they're shit, blame him.
I'm going to say somebody's wrong on the internet. I've just got to go and correct them.
Oh, well done, mate.
It's just for Millington, by the way, Chris. That's
Just Millington.
why it's called Millington Bingo. So, yeah.
Right, what are we all drinking then?
Oofed.
It's Christmas. Stevie B, what are you drinking, buddy?
I am drinking. I've got very few light beers on at the minute. Everything seems to be dark, and I bought a lot of stuff from breweries, and I've actually drank most of it. So I'm on the homebrew tonight. This is a bitter. I did a few weeks ago, 3.9%. Nice easy start. Lovely bit of amber malt in there. Nice bit of biscuit. Lovely stuff. That's what I'm on.
Fuggles.
Nice.
Pretty nice.
Fuggles are and East Kent Goldings.
Nice.
Fuggles and EKG, so it tastes like trees and dirt. Nice.
And
Yummy.
floral. Yeah.
Owen, what are you drinking, man?
I'm drinking my black IPA.
Bipar.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. A little bit of roast. Lots of hop character.
Sweet.
I'm not sure if anyone else brews black IPAs very often. Always good head retention on a black IPA.
Yeah. I had and was it the elusive one last night? Did you guys get that as part of the pack?
Mm.
And it was Citra Mosaic Centennial, and it was banging. See if you close your eyes, it was like it was so you would think you're drinking a big hazy almost. It was apart from there was a slight roast, but it wasn't anything mega. I don't know, and if yours is like that.
That's the art of it, isn't it? It's being able to get the colour on it without all of the chocolate or the roast.
Yeah.
Which is really hard to do, actually. You got to have the right malts, then you got to have the right process. But I love it. I'm a huge black IPA fan.
Yep.
Big fan of the
good.
Bipper.
Yeah,
And
I think
the
this
dipper.
is my fourth one I've brewed.
And the Tipper.
Yeah.
And the Quipper, if there is such a thing.
I believe there is a quipper.
Yeah. Is there a Pipper for a 5 times IPA?
I don't think so.
I'm just
Hopefully
saying.
there will never be a Pipper.
I'm having to think about
we don't
Pipper
want to see
Middleton
that.
right now, to be fair.
I know, is that a chemistry thing or something, or
No, it's triple, quad, penta.
yep.
The Penta IPA, what ABV would that be? Like 15%?
17.
Yeah.
So we're distilling.
You'd be talking like having to freeze distill that bad boy, which I
Yeah.
have done. Maybe I've actually created a Pipper.
Nice.
Sure,
Sounds
you
like
guys
a
remember
Pipper
the
completed
story?
it, mate. Already done it. Yeah.
Completed it, mate. Done it.
Tick.
Well ahead of the curve.
Come on, Tricky. What are you drinking, man?
I was lucky to get a few beers from Brewcat Brewery. This one is, hang on, wrong way around. That doesn't actually tell you what it is at all. There, it's the other side. I'm trying to show you. So that
Märzen.
is Märzen.
Oh,
Märzen. There it is in the
That's-
glass.
sure
Beautiful
that's not
colour
the-
on it.
is that not the hazy IPA?
No, this is the Märzen. The super oxidized.
Super
I gotta say, that's
clear
a-
hazy IPA. Yeah.
That's the worst pale ale I've ever seen.
Lovely clarity, lovely colour. Yeah, smells malty. It's got that brown bread, toasty, with a little sort of smear of honey across it kind of flavour to it. Super clean. If I was being picky, maybe could do with a little bit more carbonation on there, but other than that, it's bang on, and I'd say pretty well to style. So yeah, good effort. Thank you very much for sending that to me, Mr. Brooks, and enjoying that a lot. So cheers. And it's 6.3% as well, so a fairly solid starter for the Christmas.
What? It's like an Oktoberfest, Marzen.
Get it in
Yeah,
early.
well,
there,
it's a
Trick,
proper
aren't
one,
you?
isn't it? That's an old
Yeah.
school sort of strength there. So yeah, keeping
It's
it
not messing.
authentic.
Well,
You'll be melting in that chair soon.
Andy, what are you
Face
drinking,
melting,
man?
Yeah.
I've got the Flock. It's called Whisper Pale Ale, 5%. Show you. I don't know if you've had this one, but after I think it was you guys were doing all your beers and you had Flock and you recommended one that was like a low ABV and you were raving about it. I got a Flock order in, and I must say, Flocker just there's this consistency through their beers where they're all kind of this light sort of and just super pillowy. And even the low ABV stuff, like the 3% sort of range, tastes like a 5%. And now I'm drinking a 5%. It tastes like a 5%. It just loads. It's just this nice pillowy body sort of thing with lots of kind of hop juice character coming through. Low bitterness. Just banging beers. Like if you haven't had Flock before, as a first time Flock drinker myself, I'd highly recommend. Yeah. Very good.
Sounds
They're a
nice.
great brewery. They
Yeah.
are a great brewery.
So thanks for the recommendation, lads. It was good.
Pleasure.
Unfortunately for me, I'm drinking a beer which is shit.
One of your own ones, then, was it?
Weirdly enough, yes. No. So my mate Alan, who lives up the road, has just quit homebrewing. He's got rid of everything. He's got some medical things going off. He's decided to knock it all on the head, which means I got some of my hops back, which is a bonus. The downside is he gave me some of his pale ale. He gave me a 5-litre keg of his pale ale, and he's got the malt bill spot on because I gave it to him, right? And he's hopped it with I don't know what, but it don't taste nice.
Buggles and Mosaic.
Did they do your Magnum Nipah?
I don't know what it is.
What do you reckon could be the worst possible combination for a hazy pale ale? Buggles and Sriracha Ace. I reckon that would be a good one, wouldn't it?
Just Galaxy, I think.
Galaxy.
Yeah, just loads of Galaxy.
Galaxy hot side.
100 grams of Galaxy at 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Bang it.
Galaxy just threw out the entire boil and then
Just watch your teeth dissolve in
100
one
grams
mouthful.
of Galaxy in the dry hop. Yep.
Now, I have to say that this is one of those beers where normally the cheese plant would be drinking it. However, I kind of said to Alan I would drink it and review it on a podcast. So,
Yeah, it is.
Alan, why does it taste like you've dipped dead mouse in it?
Oh no.
Why does it
Is this-
taste slightly putrid?
Oh,
Why
Chris,
do-
is it
why-
hygiene?
No, it's not hygiene. Trust me, that man is so anally retentive about his hygiene. It is not
It
that.
is.
However, this, I think personally, what he's done is he's added too much lactic acid to it because it's got that butyric bite, that really kind of horrific baby vomit kind of thing going off. But I told him I'd drink at least one glass, and I'm gonna feel bad if I don't. I don't know what you've. I don't know what he's hopped it with, right? He's hopped it with something and it's wrong. It shouldn't be in this style of beer. So, Alan, cheers, mate.
Baby sick.
But I'm not drinking the rest of that mini keg, mate.
See, this is a problem with some homebrewers. Like
That
they
can fucking get in the sea, that can.
sometimes like you get guys and they hit a few stumbling blocks in their process. They've done something, they've used something different, and all of a sudden their kit's infected or something.
Hang on.
And then
Hang on.
no, but
hang on.
it knocks you.
Hang on.
It knocks
Fuck
you.
you, Brooksy. My mango hefe tastes lovely.
Yeah, it can knock you, Chris, where it puts people off homebrewing, and getting someone, maybe try and get someone in to give you a hand to work out what it is, because I've seen that with my friends as well, where they've changed something, they've changed their cleaning chemicals, not using Star San anymore, using something else, and then all of a sudden it's like, why is everything growing shit in it? So it can put you off the hobby, definite, if you have 2 or 3 batches in a row that you have issues. Because Biggie, you had issues recently as well, didn't you, with your fermenter?
Yeah, I had a couple of bad ones. One that was had to be chucked away in the keg. That was the Schwartz beer. I can say Schwartz beer without Chris correcting me because he's not here. And the other one was another one, but it wasn't.
No,
it was
I
only a
am
little.
still here.
Oh shit, been caught. Schwartz beer. And I had another one that was a bit dodgy, but yeah,
Schwarzbier.
the VWP is the answer. I think I really overdid it though. VWP, Star Sun, boiling water. I had a bloody priest.
Did I say? I think I mentioned that to you to use the VWP as a just nuke it with VWP, and then I think use percarbonate after to get rid of the VWP, and then Star Sun sort of thing.
So was it a Catholic priest, and was it an exorcism?
Yeah, full exorcism.
Stevie? Yeah.
No, it's just some drunk I found down the bar at the end of the road. Was it?
Did it? So it fixed it. In the
Come
end?
with me.
Did it fix
Yeah,
it?
fixed it. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
just go full nuke.
Yeah, VWP.
But yeah,
will-
I mean, I had a series of beers. This is years ago. I mean, I'm brewing since the end of 2014. I started doing beer kits, and then started brewing all grain at some point in 2015, I think it was. And I had a series of brews that just finished at 1020, and I couldn't understand what it was I was doing wrong. No, it wasn't actually SO4. It turned out in the end, this is about 4 beers in a row that stalled at 1020, and it turned out I was overdosing with Camden tablets. And I just stopped using it, and it's just everything's gone well since. I didn't even necessarily need to. I was just putting too much in, and it just killed it at 1020.
I had an issue.
Killed it through fear.
I'd built that craft beer pie system, and then none of it was finishing, and it was the wrong. The actual mash temp sensor was set wrong. It wasn't calibrated, so it was actually mashing at like 70 odd. Like kind of 70 degrees instead of 67, and that then obviously caused the residual sugars, so it wouldn't ferment out properly. So yeah, it's little things.
Yeah, it's amazing the tiny little things like that, and it can just ruin a brew day. But as you say, like a couple of things in a row, and it can really get you down.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it. So yeah. Who's next on the? Who's not reviewed their beer?
Everybody's reviewed their beer, mate. And we went way over 30 seconds. I'm going to give Alan's beer 0.3 out of 5.
I don't feel comfortable giving my own beer a rating, to be fair.
0.3, that's all he's getting. I have to say, I'm on this one now.
Legendary.
I've got to be, because it's amazing.
That's a step up, that one.
It's a step up from most things, this beer. Later on in the show, what we have is everybody nominating their oh god, I forgot it. Yeah, the commercial beer of the year. And I had this beer like bang up there as number 1. And then I remembered another beer, and this one didn't get a look.
I was considering that one, to be fair, as well.
It's a cracker.
Yes.
Suds?
I mean, I think it's probably up there with the, as far as like new breweries discovered. I think Bull House is definitely one that's, been a really good one to find. And
it's
thanks for somebody suggesting it as well.
That was a new surprise for you guys, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Big time. It was a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. So let's move this one along, because otherwise we are going to be here for 3.5 hours. So we need to basically just have a quick review of what we've covered on the podcast, who we've had on, just the highlights, what we've learned from our guests, and more importantly, this is the thing that I want everybody to think about who listens to this podcast. Educational moment, okay? How has what we've learned been plugged into our beers moving forward? What have we had from our guests that's made us think, well, I can do that, And as a brewer myself, as an ex-brewer, I can actually go down the route of saying, do you know what? You're never too old to learn. Never too old to learn. Don't say, oh, let's just go.
Let's go.
Ruthlessly shoehorned in there.
Ruthless. Ruthless.
Oh, do you want to do another one?
I mean, I can do. Reinheitsgebot! Right, let's go.
That's subtle.
Yes.
I hope nobody missed that one.
It's beautiful
Alert.
language.
Bingo alert.
There we go. So, One of
So-
the things that I've learned whilst we've been going through and while we've been doing this is, obviously, as a scientist, I obviously learned a lot from the scientific guests. I learned from Lance on both times that he was on here. I learned an awful lot. Some of it I already knew, but a lot of it, was fresh to me. And it was about dry hop timings, and it was the way in which, if you dry hop early, if you've got a haze positive beer, it tends to clear it. A haze positive yeast, it tends to clear it. But if you dry hop later, then basically you get to the point where you're going to get a hazy beer kind of no matter what you do at that point. I think it's wonderful.
See the photos they had in the
The
presentation.
photos were epic.
And you could see the difference between what the dry hop timings actually caused with, and it was London Ale 3 was the strain that they used, which is one that we probably all use quite regularly now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, that was a cracker.
And I also learned, I can't remember who it was. Was it Matt Dutton from Track? I know this was last year, not this year, but one of the big things for me was the use of salt in the mash and understanding that salty is the opposite of bitter. So you
you were the one that was telling us that. Yeah, for the low ABV, that was the top tip you gave me for brewing a low ABV. It was the opposite, yeah.
Yeah, it's not sweet and bitter, it's salty and bitter, and it counteracts it beautifully. And I can't remember who, it was definitely
Hoddy then kind of battled that one home. I think in our last episode, we've spoken to him, and I've tried to get a bit of information on it, but he was saying about he recommends about 5 grams per 5 gallon batch, so a gram per litre, which is quite a lot of salt to in a hazy. So yeah.
What about you? We've got Biggie B on, and he's just sitting there looking quite bored. So, from the things that we've talked about, from the podcast that we've done, is there anything that you've taken and decided, you know what, I can actually do that with my beer?
The salt actually was a very good one, I thought, because I never knew anything about that until I heard that on the podcast. But I would say one of the really interesting ones I found was this year was the Adam Mix Beer podcast, and he was talking about acetophen and sparge water. That was, because that's not something I've ever even thought to do, and it's just little things like that, give big results. So I'd say that would probably be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've started doing that as well, and it's so easy to do as well, isn't it? Just in the sparge water tank, and job's good. And the beers have been fab, So, have you noticed a big difference, or is it just something that you now do because?
It might just be in your head though. Like, this is the thing, but definitely for light beers like lagers, because I make quite a lot of lagers every year. I mean, it's like 7 batches of lager I made in the last 12 months. Seems like quite a lot. So, yeah, things like that.
Is it not because your house yeast is a Cali Common?
Well, actually, I use proper lager yeast for these. And the Cali Common's used for instead of USO5.
Okay. Cali Common yeast are amazing. I don't care what anyone says.
No,
they are the underappreciated bastard ginger stepchild of yeasts, and nobody seems to like them. Well, I think they're amazing, but I like gingers, so
I still never worked out what the difference between a California Common and a Kentucky Common is. But they seem to be the same kind of results. So
it's about 1,700 mile. I think. I think Cali Commons are massively underappreciated.
Are they just brand names?
No, because it's a whole style, isn't it? The California Commons steam beers.
An actual Kentucky Common beer style as well, though, is there? Or am I making that up completely?
I don't know, but I'm going to Google that shit.
For the BJCP guidelines.
Kentucky Common is similar to a cream ale. California Common is a steam beer. Not sure what the difference is.
There's not really that much difference.
Not really, yeah.
Doesn't the first one that you said, is it cream ale? Doesn't that have corn? Does that have corn in it?
It might do.
It does,
yeah.
Quite a lot of corn, actually, I think, if you follow the suggested recipes.
We have an Australian friend who'll probably be making a beer with fucking popcorn next week, won't we? He did one with donuts, so he'll probably do one with popcorn now. Yeah. Anyway, so anybody else? Because I've got one I want to jump on. If Tricky doesn't have one,
the Amiga yeast, I think, was a absolute, treasure trove of information for all sorts of stuff from Lance across the 2 episodes, because he was obviously with us twice as well. For me, something that helped with a beer that I brewed recently was the certainly some of the information that he gave us on files and fileized yeast, because obviously Amiga have been really pushing the development of those yeasts, maybe more so with the genetically modified strains that they've got, as opposed to maybe some of the other non-GM strains that we've been able to access over here. But obviously the theory is the same in terms of how they work and how that particular gene within those yeasts allows it to unlock bound files, and him going through the kind of basics of, what that was all about and ways that you can add more bound files into the brew through different techniques and all that kind of stuff. That was basically kind of like the starting point for me, kind of thinking about that process and getting into my head the ideas that I would use for the beer that I made recently, to kind of test that out and see what would happen. And I think I tasted that on the previous episode, and it, for sure had a big impact, because it dramatically transformed my supposedly West Coast IPA into something very, very different to that.
Mid-coast.
You mean the kitchen sink thiol beer?
Yeah, the kitchen sink. The West Coast has fucked off to the vineyard and blended itself with a Sauv Blanc fruity white wine kind of IPA instead. So yes,
I think
he is a mountainous pile of information, is Lance. He's amazing.
And I think there was so much of that information that it was like, okay, this is great, but now I'm gonna have to go and read all of that again or listen back to it again to take that in. So, because I think it went really in depth on pretty much everything that we talked about, which was great. Both those episodes stood out for me.
I think if there's any like real re-listen, maybe we can go through like what was our favourite episode of last year. But if you're going to re-listen to any of them, I think the Omega Yeast ones are well up there in my mind on the list. And I found it really interesting how much Lance talked about that thiol piece from malt, and the fact that there's a lot of bound thiols in malt.
Yeah.
Before you even get onto the subject of yeast, onto the subject of hops, so that was a bit of a revelation, I think.
Yeah, I actually listened to the Lance episode, the first Lance episode this week, because I tend to listen to the audio podcast rather than the live stuff, like the ultras here watching this. And there was a couple of things I took out of that. One was you were talking about Chico yeast, and he was saying about if you brew it higher, it can actually be a more clean beer than you getting that peach thing, Andy, when you're brewing it at 17, 18, which was one little thing. And the other main thing that I took from that episode was I found that new word called shmoo. Okay, so I was very interested in that, and then it went on to talk about thiols and all that stuff. But all I could think about was this word called the shmoo, because Lance had mentioned that there was a character called the shmoo. So of course I had to Google it, and I don't know whether you've actually seen what the shmoo looks like. Maybe Chris, you could bring it up on the screen for anyone watching on a phone. But it is spectacular.
Those other guys can bring it up.
It is absolutely spectacular. So this was a character from like a newspaper comic strip from like 1940 something, 48 or something. And I don't know how they managed to it become so popular, because when you see it, it's just
right. Okay. The new shmoo. Has someone got it?
Shmoo.
Tricky's on it. He's looking.
Click
quiet.
present and then click on screen layout, shift and 6.
So am I giving you homework to do?
I'm not doing any of the work, mate. I'm not. I've just had to drink a shitty beer. I'm not doing any more work tonight.
The new
Here we go.
shmoo.
The
There it
new
is, sorry.
shmoo. It's basically a penis with legs.
Yeah, it's a cock and balls. I mean, there's so many questions. So when all that talk about thiolizing yeast was coming on, I was thinking about this and wondering what in fuck's name, how did that manage to get through into newsprint? And
Is
it like a some sort of chemistry thing? And then it's a character made from science?
No, I think it's the other way around. I think they discovered the shmoo scientifically and were like, that looks a lot like the new shmoo, I would imagine.
Ron, you're disqualified. Sorry, mate.
Apparently, he likes to be eaten as well, too.
What, the shmoo?
Yeah, that's one of the quotes in Wikipedia I discovered. He likes to be eaten.
Okay. Yeah, let's just leave that one alone. Tricky's gonna die if we carry on down this route. This is kind of like the time when I shouted tits and Owen's beer came out his nose.
No, that's when you went no.
No.
Yeah,
The one thing that I kind of took, the one episode that sticks, obviously the Lance episode stick in my mind. The one that we had with Alison Milne from Crafty Maltsters totally sticks in my. I'm just glossing over that, Luke. The from Alison from Crafty Maltsters, that really sticks in my mind because that was just a brilliant episode as far as
that was excellent insight into the malting process.
It was, I think,
wasn't it? Something that we haven't really got into before because we don't know shit about it, basically.
Literally fucking nothing about it.
A deeper appreciation of what's involved in putting that malt in the bag, isn't it? When we just buy it from the malt miller or wherever you might purchase your malt, it gives you an idea and a deep appreciation of what has gone into the background of all that.
What's Andy got? Oh, Nuthatch, he's drinking a Lukey beer.
I look at Marilyn. Is it Marilyn Lager? Oh, it's actually it's one of my old bottles. It's got an old label.
Oh, for God's sake! Right,
doing his bit for the planet there.
That's it. So.
Can I just say that the episode that I got the most out of was listening to all of you boys talk about. It was an episode in May, and it was the true cost of homebrewing.
Yeah. We realised how much I spend on homebrewing was a little bit too much.
But that's because you've constantly got your dick in the shiny, isn't it, Andy? It
shiny
is
expensive.
You only buy it for the 2-inch tri-clamp, and that's why you buy extra lube. Call it what it is. Yeah?
You love that silvery, shiny, because you can see yourself in it, I reckon.
I even got the Keg King Apollo. And instead of just sticking with that little bottle collection thing, I've got a fucking 2-inch 90 on it with a 2-inch butterfly, pumping it out because, yeah.
And he's only had to sell one kidney.
Sell Mars, you mean? Anyway,
nobody.
I thought you said you wanted to make money.
And this is another thing, right, that I really hope that people get from this. Is this comment from Chris Woofenden. He enjoyed the Oktoberfest episode 2, or perhaps he enjoyed the discount from our good friends at Beer Merchants, and he bought some excellent beers on the recommendation of us. So clearly, on that night, boys, we were on fire.
Well, perhaps I'm gonna post a list we created of all the podcasts we've recorded in 2023. Perhaps you guys chuck it in the chat as to which your favourite episode was.
That's a good idea, that one.
Yeah, and we'll just we'll have a discussion about which was our favourite episode.
My God, that's a long list.
Yeah, it's not copied across particularly well.
That's nice and easy to read.
It's like a word jumble.
Yeah. 26 podcasts in a year is not bad going there, is it? That's
Hey, let's see how it looks
solid
on the screen. Look at that.
That's pretty
Oh
solid.
dear Lord. Don't do
yeah.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not.
Yeah, True True Cost of Homebrewing was definitely my favorite episode, I think, of the year. I went and did a video as well too, pretty much the next day.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
That was about $3,000, I think I was up to.
I mean, that inspired you to make a video of your own, didn't it, Steve?
Mm-hmm. That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Very good episode.
And then you didn't count all the other stuff that you...
Well, you can't count historical things, you know. You can't count old pieces of equipment you don't use anymore. It's only about the beer I'm making now.
That would have saved me a lot of money if I knew that was one of the rules.
Yeah, well,
exactly. we took mine now.
A different interpretation.
If that's the case, I've spent 14 quid.
Net zero.
Bonus.
There's an annual write-off involved.
That's
so only how much you spent. How much you spent this year?
I must have spent hundreds just on thermometers alone. You know, the little shitty ones that keep breaking all the time. They get a bit of water on them, and it's just they're gone. It's just I went through so many of them in the early days.
You need to build a craft beer pie system, Biggie. That's what you need to do.
That's beyond my capabilities.
I don't think it is, mate. If I can do it, you can do it.
I can just do it. Well, you're a bad chemist, aren't you? I think you are, aren't you?
I am indeed a chemist, yes.
Chris, how's your fermenter controller coming along?
It's perfectly fine. It's over there. It says wrapped on it. I'm not building another fucking control panel just to get down to that point.
After you bought all the bits?
I haven't bought all the bits. I've got some on their way. Technically, they've not arrived, so they haven't cost me anything yet. Yeah, they'll be getting returned as soon as they get here, to be fair. So,
see, another one I liked as well too. Sorry to crash again. Another one that I liked was the Andy Parker episode from a few weeks ago. Yeah, maybe that's recency bias or something, but there was like a 20-minute period of just talking about old games, spectrums and stuff. And oh god, I was well into that. Oh, I used to love playing all the games back in the day.
That was a lot of fun, especially the fact that we were all drinking the same beers.
Yeah,
that was really good in terms of getting to that kind of curated drink along thing. It was just nice to be able to kind of all appreciate the same beer and talk about it.
That was from our Patreons. That was a good idea because we came to a point where we got our Patreons on and we had a big chat with them about what they want us to, how they want us to see moving forward and that. And that was one of the ideas, was to create stuff that you could go and buy as a listener and drink along with us as well. And then we were all drinking the same beers. And yeah, it's so cool when that happens because there's certain flavors you don't get, and then someone says it and you're like, oh, there it is. That's what that is. Like was it the pumpkin spiced?
Pumpkin spiced coffee porter.
That was an acquired taste.
It was a good choice not to drink that live on the episode because
we did it in an after party, and I thought it was weird at first, but then I just got addicted to it. Whereas you guys were all like, no, just no.
It was a hard pass.
It was like it was the clove. I think it was the clove you guys all just didn't really like, and I was like, oh, that is of it.
It was a grower. It was a grower.
It was a grower, definite.
It did grow because I left it on my bench. There was about that much in the bottom of the glass. It had a lovely green layer on it by the time I washed that glass out. I would also like to say a big thank you to our Patreons. And I know that there's a lot of them, well, hopefully most of them are going to end up listening to this episode. But I just want to say to our Patreons, thank you for the great ideas. I do think that the commercial podcast that we did, the drink along commercial, where you guys chose the beers, and we all got 15% off from beer merchants.
That was good.
I thought that was a brilliant episode to have that interaction with people, especially like Gilles Cathieu, who I corrected my own pronunciation there, aren't I? Gilles Cathieu. I thought that he was brilliant because he was drinking all of them with us, and he was giving us detailed notes in the chat. I thought that was amazing. It was a very, very good episode. I properly enjoyed that one.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
£12.70 and Andy spent $7,000.
I'm not biting, Chris. I'm sorry, I'm not biting.
That's your love for shiny, Andy.
Is that one on? Well, I mean, the bottom line, right? If it comes down to it, okay, is as far as what you want to spend, and I've got to cover this one because I give Andy a lot of shit. But
that's definitely one of the Chris bingos.
At the end of the day, right? It's your boat. You paddle it. You get your beer how you want to get your beer. It's as simple as that. All right.
Amazing.
There was a question in from Chris Whipperton on: are we thinking of a Patreon meetup in 2024? Good question, Chris.
I don't think it's specific to Patreons. I think we normally, if we do have a meetup or we're going to a brewery or something, we generally open it up.
Well, we do all go to London Craft Beer Festival every year as well, so that's by default. Everyone listening is welcome to meet up with us on the Friday day session at London Craft Beer Festival. Very well worth visiting anyway, but
Always
you get the added bonus of meeting Chris there, then what else would you need?
I don't know if that's a bonus. One of the things that I will say is I was considering, and I will broach it now live on air. How many of you guys fancy a trip up to Newcastle to go to Wylam?
Oh, what a brewery! What a brewery!
You like Newcastle?
I love Newcastle. Oh, I love Newcastle. Newcastle's an excellent place.
Chris, that's probably the best idea you've ever came up with.
we do need a trip to Scotland.
We do. It's very close to Andy. It's only about 2 hours from Andy.
Yeah, it's easy to get to Newcastle, actually.
I mean, it's a hell of a trip for Owen.
That's why Andy thinks it's the best
7 hours
to come up with. He's like, finally, somewhere I don't have to fly to. Yes.
To be fair, I think Southampton flies to Newcastle, so that's not too bad for me. In fact, I used to do it for work, so
wow.
It's a pretty short flight, as you can imagine.
They used to do craft beer calling up there. A couple of years ago, it was killed off by COVID. Yeah. But that was brilliant. We used to go over all the time. It's fantastic. It's a real easy city as well to get about, the metro system, and fantastic.
It's just a great city for a night out as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In Newcastle, it's an epic place. I adore Newcastle. It's probably my third favourite place in the UK after Yorkshire and
Yorkshire.
I don't know. Yorkshire, and then Newcastle.
See, for a night out, where's your top rated cities for a night out, guys?
Oof.
How are you measuring it? Like, I mean, you would say London, but London's bloody expensive.
No, London's crap though. All the pubs shut super early. Like, you've got the tap rooms, but then the tap rooms all shut at 10, and then it's like you go to the next pub, and then it's like the pub's shutting at 11. What's this? We'll be divorced by the time I come home from Newcastle. Know what they say: if you have enough money for a bag of chips, you're not going home alone. Lucky Stevens, well done, mate.
I'm not being funny. If you've not been on a night out in Newcastle, right? You have not seen the hardest people known to man. It could be 4 inches of snow on the ground and minus 38.
Yeah.
And every single woman in Newcastle is walking around in a fucking greyhound black dress that's an inch from the hair with high heels on and no fucking coat. They are as hard as nails up there. It's an awesome night out, Newcastle.
Glasgow's very similar, to be fair. Like, Newcastle, I think, is better, but Glasgow is, if you think Newcastle, Glasgow is quite similar, I would say, for a night out.
They're just more into smack and have no teeth.
Yeah,
Edinburgh.
They're generally moseying about, so you have to dodge them between the pub runs. But then what you could do is you could do the sub crawl. So what you
the
do
smack gets.
Yeah, you just take the subway round Glasgow, and then you stop out, and when you get to a stop, you jump out and then have a beer at whatever local pub there is. Yeah, sub crawl. Yeah, so lots to do in Glasgow. Loads of good.
I remember going to Newcastle again in a taxi. And the taxi driver, I think, was an ex-boxer. And we had probably a half an hour taxi journey. And I swear to God, I didn't understand a single word he said to me. Not a single word.
Amazing.
You kind of acclimatise to it. It takes about half an hour, and then you kind of acclimatise to it.
See, the thing is, though, and it's because your brain's too slow to keep up. That's what it is.
Probably. It's also because I'm a posh southerner.
Yeah. Did he understand you, is the question?
I think so. of the things that I said, Steve, it's hard to have a conversation when you don't really understand what people are saying to you. You just go, yeah, mate, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I heard that
Just-
one.
Google Translate. Just put it into your phone and hold it up to him.
Smile and nod is the best policy usually in those situations.
There used to be a Geordie translator. There used to be an app which was a Geordie translator.
Oh wow, that would be amazing. Yes.
How far? You can just jump on a boat or jump on a plane and end up in like Newcastle.
Yeah,
can't you?
Newcastle's 30 minutes on the plane. Yeah,
That's not far for you.
it used to
then,
be really
is it?
cheap. It used to be like £60 return as well too. So
Is
I
it
don't know
not
what it
just-
is now.
Plane
But
just
it's
does
up-
that, doesn't it?
It's up and down. Yeah, basically.
It's that's like the Glasgow Belfast flight. And it
Yeah,
just
that's even
pretty much
shorter,
get
yeah.
up then and just straight back down again.
Yeah.
So Leeds
about-
have got a couple of votes in the chat, which Chris will be happy about.
What about
Leeds-
York? Is it not
keep it
supposed to be a
local.
good?
I like
good time
Leeds.
for summer?
York.
I don't know much about York. Who's based in? I guess you got Brew York.
I've been to York with the missus. It's a nice city to do with the missus, basically, but
Yeah,
a
maybe.
beer run.
Don't know. Maybe more sort of daytime.
York's a shit hole.
yeah, York's got the walls and you can walk around the walls and all that.
It's a
sort of-
fucking toilet, York. It's full of people with too much money and too big a fucking idea of themselves.
York is a toilet.
I used to live in York. It's a fucking shithole.
This is a guy from Wakefield.
I'm not from Wakefield. I'm from Doncaster, dickhead.
Oh, you live in Wakefield?
Fucking
Even better.
Yorkshire.
One of the assistant brewer at Southwark yesterday was from Wakefield. He was like, "Yeah, you don't ever want to go there."
Did you turn
I was
around
like,
and say,
You're like,
I've been.
I was like, "I've been." Yeah, he was like, "Why?" Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Anyway, guys,
We can organise something, can't we?
we
Yeah.
will get on with organising something. Obviously, we have the Maverick competition next year. We've got
Definitely.
London Craft Beer Festival, which
Definitely.
I suspect all five of us will be at.
Yeah, I've already get tickets from the
Uh,
hotel. Yeah,
You know, question about BrewCon as to whether that's going to happen again. I don't think it will.
Probably
So
not.
that's 2 meetups right there.
yeah, Brookon instead.
So we'll see what happens.
There's also Crazy Town going off in Leeds. Crazy Town's being resurrected, so all of the breweries around Leeds and all of the big bars in Leeds, they all have a big beer festival on one day, on one weekend, and they call it Crazy Town, and it's pretty damn good. I've done it a couple of times. It's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah,
It's worth a pop, to be fair.
that sounds fun. That sounds fun.
There's some really good breweries in Leeds, so it's
Where's
it's
Where's
good.
Wild Child from? Is it Leeds?
Leeds,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's Leeds.
We did
Yeah, and
that.
you also got Northern Monk, right?
Yeah.
North
Uh,
as well.
North Brewing,
North,
Northern
yeah.
Monk.
Tartarus. They're on the wrong side, though, aren't they, Chris?
That's technically not Leeds. That's technically
They s-
Harrogate.
They say they're in Leeds.
Yeah, but so does
Are
Leeds
they-
Bradford Airport, and it
Are they
fucking
lying?
isn't. Yeah, they're lying, mate. I think they're in Knaresborough, which is probably about 40 quid in a taxi from Leeds. It's pretty far.
Feeling your pain,
Yeah.
Owen.
Oh, mate.
Ye start a boil over.
Happens to
Yeah.
the best of us.
Yeah. Oh,
Always do those in the pan rather than in the flask.
Yeah,
just
don't do 'em in a
automatic
flask.
boil over. Don't know
I
if that
always
was
do mine in
whiteboard
the
over,
flask.
Owen, but
Yeah, I always do mine in a flask.
do you find that it does just like want to explode out the top of it? though,
Yeah,
when you do
it
it that
definitely
way?
does.
Yeah.
But it also means I don't really have to like sanitize my flask.
Cooker.
I just put
So covered
put about
in
an inch of
boilers.
water in your flask
Yeah.
with your flea, cover it with
Yeah,
foil,
yeah,
put
that's
that on
what
the
I do.
back gas, and then do your
Put it
sugar
on
on
at
the
the same
front.
time.
It also, because
Ah.
glass doesn't conduct as well as metal. By the time you put the metal in the cold water to cool it down, it actually cools faster.
That's true.
Fucking science, bitches. Yeah,
You're
throwing
a
it out there.
scientist, are you, Chris?
we've already ticked that one off.
Oh, okay.
I think about 5 times we've ticked that one off.
At
Well, I
least
am a
5
scientist.
times.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
that's right
definitely
to
a
mention that.
scientist. Yeah.
Also, one to mention on terms of meetups, Brett Harmon mentioned these hills, which for anyone on the kind of south coast or even London, that's in Lewes, which is a great beer festival. So I suspect I will be going next year along with Brett and a few others. Guys, big question. We laid it out earlier. Commercial beer of the year. We've given it some pre-thought. We're locked and loaded. Andy, do you want to start?
Right. So in the summer, we went on holiday to the Norfolk Broads, and of course we had, is it Miranda from Duration and Bates? And I had to stop in at Duration to get a case of beer, basically. And in that case was a wild grisette called The Land I'm Bound To. And it was beautiful. It had that sort of funk, the Bretty funk, and it had the oak character. And I know, I don't like saisons, which has got all those kind of phenolics, but when it comes to like Brett sort of infused those kind of beers with oak character, I just love. And that was the best one I've had this year, I think.
Yes, Andy.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm with you on the wood funk.
Oh, it's just
Train.
I need to get some more. See, to be honest, it's like, why have I not got a folder in my garage?
There's time, Andy. It's probably not shiny enough for you.
That's what it is.
I'd recommend some kind of tank.
Can you have those made out of a big bit of shiny stainless though? Surely you could.
Probably
fucking shiny.
Get one.
Yeah, but you're not going to get then the wood interaction.
Yeah, of course.
That's what brings it.
It would just be a cool ship, really, wouldn't it? If it was all stainless rather than.
Well, yeah, it would just be a kind of.
Just Bretted,
It would just be a
wouldn't it?
metal pimento, wouldn't it? It would just be or a bright tank.
Yeah, it's dedicating a tank to wild, and the only thing I have done kind of sour was obviously we were all doing the what was the lactose producing one, the sour yeast that we were all using.
The what now?
What was the yeast we were all using?
Billy Sour.
Billy Sour.
Well done. Yeah. So that's the only sour type beer that I've done to date. But I would love to try a kettle sour, and I would also love to try adding some funk as well. Yeah. So
Well, I believe there might be an opportunity to explore that avenue with the Malt Miller Burning Sky collab competition, which may have already been released.
okay.
Anyone seen anything on socials about that?
Not sure if they have officially.
No,
released
I
it
think
yet,
it's
but-
coming soon. So if anyone fancies a hand
Yeah.
at Wild Fermentation,
I think they
then
did.
that
Did they
might
not
be
in the video? I'm sure they talked about it.
they
He
talked
said
about it in the video.
They
Yeah,
should do one, but I don't
right.
think they've
I
that
believe
was
they
when
are.
launched
I,
it,
but
but
I
it should be
understand that they
happening, yeah.
are doing one. It's just
Yeah.
not been launched yet.
Because that was the one Brett had snuck his beer in to get reviewed by the main man himself. At
It
that,
did.
yeah, that was cool.
I think I'm lucky enough to have a bottle of that in my fridge.
Have you?
I have.
Nice.
While we're talking about favourite commercial beers, I want to give a shout out to Chris Woofenden, who's just put down Pacific Crest Westie from Burnt Mill. And he had the balls to buy 24 of them.
Nice.
I mean, I've
That's
had that beer,
commitment.
and it is an absolute banger. It's a great beer, that one. I'm not a big fan of West Coast. You may know this already if you've listened to the podcast, even for 20
besties, man.
minutes. But, dude, that is such a great, great beer. I want to go next. Now Andy's covered his Duration Grisette, his wild Grisette, because he's a wild man. Look at that. Wild man. Okay?
Who did that?
So,
Oh,
it
man.
weren't me.
Did you just do it automatically?
No, it's Biggie B, I think, fucking about.
No,
Yeah,
no, you put
definitely
your
me.
thumbs up. You put your thumbs up, lads. Go.
Yeah, it's not working.
No,
Obviously, it's because I'm a
definitely not
Yorkshireman.
working.
Yay!
Right. So, I want to
What's
roll
going
this one
on?
to
What
Biggie
is
B.
happening?
What? So if Andy puts his thumbs up, it gives him fireworks.
Yep.
Do it.
Does it?
Do it.
It's Hogmanay,
No,
that's what it is.
Doesn't work for me.
No, it doesn't work for
Oh
me.
my good God!
This is some kind of prank, Andrew.
We
Andrew's playing us.
love Rick Shaw. You're a legend.
It's not working.
So
That's hilarious.
I want to roll this one to Biggie B because I want to know what his best commercial of the year actually is.
Okay, I had to go out and get. I've kept the can because it was so good. Okay, so it's this one here. This is from Boundary Brewery. It's a 3% chance of tears, which is a blueberry and blackberry goza with cacao. So, I mean, it's 6.2%. So it's a big one, and it was absolutely magnificent. The blueberry, the fruit were coming through, and the cacao came in right at the end, but it was so super smooth. So at the start, it tasted like a fruit kind of milkshake, a little bit sour, and then the cacao came in at the end, and it got a little bit more sour. That was absolutely beautiful. I tried to clone it, and these things never really go to plan. Okay, I used the Philly sour yeast as well too, coincidentally.
Yep.
And I tried to make a tincture with cacao nibs, but I didn't actually have cacao nibs. All I could get at that moment in time was some kind of chocolate, 70% dark chocolate, and I put it in a tincture with vodka, and it kind of dissolved the chocolate.
I remember this. That was hilarious. It turned into this big frothy mess or something like that. Was it? It was like a
turned
big...
into a mousse, and I had to keep putting more vodka into it. And every time I shook the jam jar, it kind of got big. It grew in the jam jar, and I kept putting more and more vodka in until the wife started complaining that I was using all the vodka. And I must have gone through about a third of a bottle. So then I started putting Cointreau into it because it was in the back of the cupboard. I kept doing the same thing. In the end, I was like, I can't put this into the beer. And then I just fucked it in anyway. I didn't care. And then when I actually tasted it, I think there's a video of me where I actually tasted it, and it was really nice and fruity, or really nice and chocolatey, and it smelled amazing. But then as soon as I tasted it, it was just like, oh my God. It was like mentholated spirits or something like that. But the beer turned out okay, but the beer actually turned out okay. It didn't have that much chocolate on, so I am going to do it again next year, but use proper cacao nibs, I think. So
Stephen, was the actual beer from Boundary? Was it kind of more of like a dessert sour? Was it kind of really thick, and was it hazy?
It was really thick. Yeah, it was really
sweet.
Thick, really hazy. It had that kind of deep red color that you get when you use blackberries. But it was a bit of a milkshake, and it was a bit like a sour, and it was a bit like, wasn't overly sour, but then the chocolate came in the end, and it made it really smooth, and it was just like something I hadn't tasted before. So that's what it was.
Kind of like a milkshake sour.
Milkshake sour with chocolate, yeah. Sounds insane, you know.
Unity did one, Owen. It was called Topper, and it was pear and blackberry sour with, what do you call it? Yeah, it was basically, and that was the one I tried to replicate as well, because it was like this sort of, it was almost like a crumble, like this sort of, you were drinking some sort of blackberry crumble dessert thing. It was beautiful. And cinnamon was in it as well, and it was just banging.
I'm sure I had a pretty mental sour from Vault City at one point on the podcast. I think it was my commercial beer. And it was just bonkers, like mega thick. Just super, super thick. It was like soup almost. But it was a lot of fun. I like those fun beers. They're silly. Silly beer is fun, isn't it?
They're not cheap either to make. What, see with those fruit sachets? Oh my word.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep. Proper investment when you do those. But they're good if you get it right. Yeah.
To be fair, the only true question to ask somebody after they've had, as Thomas, Santa himself, he's getting prepped. He's lifting weights every day as Santa, getting ready for the big day.
Santa's getting ready.
Santa's getting ready. The only question to ask you is, would you make it again?
Is that me? Or
I'm talking. Yeah, Biggie. Would you?
Yeah.
Make that beer again?
I am going to make it again, but I'm going to do it. I need more chocolate coming into it, so I'm going to do a proper tincture this time rather than the bloody Nutella mess, whatever that was I created the last time. And I can refine.
You're going to use nibs then? Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Aye.
It's one of those things. It was like, oh, there's no nibs. What am I going to do? That'll do there. That's bound to work, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's bound to work. It's science, man. You got to do science. It's awesome. It just sounds to me like something that was absolutely crazy, and then you're throwing it in the beer anyway. Why would you not? That sounds amazing.
So it was very. It smelt. I mean, the kids. Every time I opened the lid, the kids were around me. It was just like, "Oh, that smells amazing. Can I have a taste?" I was like, "Thank God I didn't give them a taste." Just to,
because they would have been hammered.
That would have been hilarious.
That just sounds brilliant. To be fair. Okay, who doesn't have the microphone muted? Andy, you've done yours, haven't you? Tricky, come on, what's your beer of the year, man?
Well, I was going to probably put the same one as you, but then obviously you had it on the notes first, so I couldn't.
I wrote the fucking notes.
I won't reveal that, but that was probably the one that first sprang to mind. There was quite a few. That I was considering. There was a few beers from brewery that I've just drunk, one of their beers, Left-Handed Giant, that have been excellent so far this year. I was considering the Bullhouse Suds as well, because I think that is an absolute, stunning beer for a relatively low ABV hazy. But in the end, similar to somebody in the chat who mentioned I've lost it now. Who was it? Somebody mentioned the West Coast from Burnt Mill. I went for a different West Coast beer from Burnt Mill.
I'm sitting here talking and my microphone's muted. It's Chris Woofenden.
Yes. So similar to Chris, I went for another Burnt Mill Westie, which was Get the Jade, which was a Nelson hopped West Coast IPA from Burnt Mill. There was another Burnt Mill beer that I was right up there with that one as well, which was the Strata and Kahatu Fields of Green, or so I think that's what it was called. Which was I think the one
Strata and Kahatu. Wasn't that Cloud's Rest?
No,
that was 5-5 whatever. No, I know the one that you're on about.
But that was the one. I got one from the thing from the local bottle shop and was raving about it, and then sort of told you guys that you all had to go and buy it, and I think most of you did at that point.
It's kind of like it was,
and I think we've all been buying quite a bit of burnt mill. Yeah, it's
that Nelson.
Yeah, so the Get the Jade one was just a really nice, crisp, Burnt Mill's usual kind of West Coast type base, but with like Nelson works really well in West Coast style beers. I think just because
I think Nelson works in anything.
Oh yeah, 100% hazies and whatever you want to do, but it just puts a nice twist on a West Coast as well, because you get that kind of tart, or not, slightly tart, sort of grapey gooseberry kind of thing in there as well, which I think complements the kind of more bitter, crisp kind of finish that you have on those beers as well. So that was one that stood out for me, and they do tend to re-release that one fairly regularly, so that's one to look out for if they do it again at some point soon.
Just to jump in here, I'm going to utilize the power of our reach, because we do have a lot of Australian and New Zealand sort of listeners based on what I'm seeing off Spotify and off YouTube and stuff. If you happen to be in Australia or New Zealand and you happen to know somebody who works for one of the big hop producers, could you please get them to send me an email? Because we would really like to have one of those people on the podcast. I don't care if I have to do the podcast at 2:00 in the morning, right? I'm happy to do that. I just want to get
you're Chris in the podcast.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I don't fucking like you people anyway. That's absolutely fine. So if it comes down, I'm joking. I do. I love you all dearly.
Oh, but, sorry. Yeah, we love it too.
He's a cunt. The main thing that I want to know is I just want some information from you guys about growing. We've had maltsters on. We've had yeast producers on. We did a 3.5 hour epic on water. We are the hop edition, for the love of God.
Yeah, we've not had a hop grower. Well, we've had
Robbie.
We've had Yakima. Yeah. So
And we've got somebody else coming on early next year to talk about hops as well. But I want somebody who actually grows the damn things to come on and talk to us about it. Exactly, Michael. Pulling back the foreskin of science for the podcast. we've got to get somebody on. So if you're in Australia and you happen to know somebody who grows hops, we need somebody from one of the New Zealand or Australia hop producers, one of the people who actually grows the damn things, to come on and talk to us about these wondrous, wondrous cousins of cannabis, so that we can get them on and we can talk to them and we can find out what the true dealio is.
Even if we could get a grower on from the UK and then they can tell me and Biggie B how to actually make our hops taste nice when we actually brew with them.
Yeah, don't live this far north would be their answer. Chris, if there's one question you could ask them, Chris, the New Zealand and Australian hop growers, what would it be? You'd only have one question.
It was how the hell does everything that comes from New Zealand taste of lime? Because it does. No, because it does.
Nelson.
But they'll just go Tewa.
Yeah. And at that point, I disconnect and fucking walk out.
I reckon there must be some sort of flavour compound that is present.
Got to be something.
Or a higher elevated level of certain oil.
What's
in the hops that leads to that lime flavour?
It's elvish magic from Middle Earth. That's what it is.
But why does it?
What it is, yeah.
Why is it when they come out of New Zealand? How is it that they took hops from Germany and from America and planted them in New Zealand or in Australia, and they grew them, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they taste of fucking lime? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's kind of mad when you think the difference between them, because like some of the varieties are literally just that hop transplanted to a different country, and you'll see there's examples of that with UK hops that have been grown in America. Like Willamette, for example, is basically American Fuggles, right? And yes, it's very different, but it's not the same as like SARS grown in New Zealand, which then becomes like Motueka, I think is basically SARS grown over there, and that's a really drastic change, right? Whereas again, that example, Willamette is still a kind of fairly earthy sort of more herbal kind of woody type hop, similar to Fuggles but a little bit different. Whereas with New Zealand, you take stuff and put it there and it's like completely radically different.
Well, you've got Cascade, haven't you? You've got UK Cascade, which, let's face it, is dog shit. You've got American Cascade, which is grapefruit bomb.
Yeah.
And then you've got New Zealand Cascade, which is a completely different animal. So much so that is it Kohatu?
But that's the same kind of example, isn't it? It's put Cascade in the UK, it's kind of like Cascade, but it's just really dull and shit. But then grow it in New Zealand and it becomes a whole different flavour profile rather than being just slightly more potent or radically less potent like the UK.
What about Fuggles? What would it be like?
In New Zealand?
Super dirt.
Be like somebody stomped a lime on your shed floor, I reckon. That would be,
sweeping from the fruiting room, yeah.
Is Fuggles not in the continent studying Goldens?
I think you might be right, actually, yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
I thought that was EKG.
Yeah, Goldings, surely.
No, but they mixed it up. There's a whole backstory to that. They mixed it up. They thought it was Goldens.
I love a good backstory.
But it was actually Fuggles. When they actually checked the genetics of it, it turns out it was Fuggles that they were growing. Chicky's nodding his head. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But fertilizer, that's what I'd want to know. What type of fertilizer are they using to make their hops grow, and just tips on growing hops?
Lime juice. That's what they're using.
It's probably lime skins is what they're using. I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, and I want to look into it, and I want to understand why. I don't actually care too much about, it's just why. Just why? Why does it do that? And if they don't know, send me 40 kilos and I'll work it out myself.
Terroir. It will be. It's the soil.
Probably. Anyway, right. We're doing one of Owen's favourite fucking,
Hey, it's all good.
We're scooting off to the side.
Some rabbit hole escapade.
We're
Right.
still to
Can't
hear.
anything.
We're still to hear Owen's beer.
Yeah,
We're waiting
well,
for Owen. Owen,
We
do
were
your
the-
beer, man.
we
It was
need a drum
Chickies.
roll.
We're at
No,
Chickies.
it's a tough. Yeah, it's a bit like asking someone like, "What's your favorite album or your favorite song?" It's a difficult question to answer. I'm sure many of you are soul searching on your favorite beer for the year, but
Whoa.
there's been a few contenders. I think for me, the discovery of Burnt Mill was pretty amazing. I remember drinking a beer called Over the Horizon, which was a New England Pale Ale, which just tasted like pure orange juice, and that was amazing. Had a really great beer from Track at These Hills, which I can't remember the name of, but that was just like pineapple cubes. LCBF, Chris, we had a beer. It was a lager that came out of a
Pierce?
barrel.
It
No.
was. That was from the one that Luke rides a cock of regularly.
Braybrook.
Braybrook, yes.
That was pretty banging. But I
That was
ended up
superb.
landing on a beer from Burning Sky, and I happen to have it here, which is Liqueur de Provision.
Cool de Provision.
Yeah, and the reason I chose this beer, if anyone's had their Saison de Provision, which is their kind of, they typically sell it in big bottles. It's quite strong. It's normally about 6.5%, 6.7%. This is their canned version of it, but a lighter version of it. So it's pretty accessible. I don't know if it's now a core beer for Burning Sky, but it's basically, and it says here, it's a lighter version of our flagship Saison, and it's got a little bit of funk, a little bit of wood. It's got a little bit of Saison character, and it's super drinkable, kind of 5.5%, 5.2%, and I love it. It's great. So you can drink it by the pint. It's got a little bit of sour. It's pithy, sharp, floral, light. It's a great beer. So for anyone
It does sound amazing.
It is a gorgeous beer, yeah. I mean, it's perfectly balanced between all of those things. It's not any one of those things in too much context. So for anyone that wants to try that beer, I'm sure that you'll probably be able to get it from Burning Sky, but there's very little bit left.
Well, as there should be.
Good choice.
Just to let everybody know, I'm currently drinking Erdinger's Oktoberfest, their Weissbrau, and really enjoying it. And I got this for 90p a bottle from Aldi.
Has it got the rings on it?
Yes.
Yes.
They're faint, but yes.
Yeah. So it's proper German.
I like it. It's a great beer, that one. In fact, it's this one. But my beer of the year, which will come as absolutely no surprise to anyone whatsoever, who listened to the Oktoberfest episode, given the fact that, you know,
I'm sure I guessed it in the
I waxed lyrical about this for a very long. You did, Andy. You did turn around and say it. And it was the Andex Hefe Hell.
It wasn't on the Oktoberfest episode, though.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was on the
commercial drink along.
Oh my god!
Brewkeg Tap. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. No, it was.
No, it was Brewkeg Tap recommended it. It was Johnny recommended it, and then you got it in the drink along.
Yeah, he was drinking it on the Oktoberfest episode, wasn't he? Because he had it on the last one as well. Well, the last episode he was on anyway.
What a beer! What a beer! It's such a good beer that I've actually found a website, and I haven't even shared it with my nearest and dearest friends yet, because I just so happened to order another 12 bottles to go with the 12 bottles that I've already got. Sorry, I'm pointing that way as if they're in the fridge. They're that way. They're in the house. Just, oh my God, what a beer. To sit down, everybody drinks like, you know, you drink your Erdingers, you drink your Weinstefaners, and they're a pretty good sort of Weiss beer. And I've made a few Weiss beers and I really like them. But to drink that, as we did, like as a collective, as a group, it was like it was a fucking circle jerk moment for me. It really was.
You were.
It was such a wonderful, wonderful beer, and it tasted absolutely. Have you had that beer yet, Biggie?
No, I haven't. This is the first I've heard of it. I haven't actually got to that episode yet.
Andex Hefe Hell. What a beer. Just what a beer. Absolutely mind-blowingly good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like beer of the year, probably beer of the decade. I'm fairly sure it'll be beer of the century. Right? Somebody's going to have to come along with something really, really good to knock that one off of its perch. The balance of everything, of the banana, of the clove, to give the bubble gum with the malt and the wheat flavor, and just that little touch of like faint caramel that was it. Oh my good Lord, what a beer. What a beer. Absolutely no competition, even though I would happily drink 50 of these. No competition as far as mind-blowing flavor goes. That Andex beer was phenomenal.
Sounds good.
And everybody's just
has anyone else actually drunk it here?
It was. I mean, you watched the episode of the drink along. We were like blown away by that beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was bonkers.
You three had it. I wasn't on, but yeah, it sounded awesome.
It was.
Have you not had it yet, Andy?
It was so thick.
No.
And perfectly balanced in terms of flavour: clove, banana, bubble gum. It was stunning.
It was.
I will be getting it. I will get it.
Amazing.
But yeah.
Well, in fact, do you know what? I've already made my order, so just let me pop open my email and I'll tell you boys what the. Oh, there we go. The Bottle Club. So it's thebottleclub.co.uk, and they've actually got it currently in there. I may have accidentally spent 78 quid on German beer. I mean, my finger slipped, and all of a sudden I ordered all of these beers.
Is that why you're skint, Chris?
No, that's actually my Christmas present from my kids.
Oh,
so yeah, my finger slipped and I ordered these beers, and the wife's going to wrap them up, and I'm going to open them on Christmas Day and immediately start drinking.
Oh. And then, yeah, that's the turkey scuppered.
The turkey will be in the sous vide, mate. I ain't worried about the turkey.
Here's a question: who's using the Kamado for Christmas?
Not this year.
No,
not this year. I
don't have to cook.
I did last year, but not this year.
I'm chucking the turkey in the Kamado.
I think Tricky's watching Pornhub.
I looked at my Kamado the other day because it was not raining that day, and I took the lid off and it was just mold all around it, all around the top. It's like, oh fuck that! No, it's gonna have to
burn that shit off.
Light it 450 degrees for 25 minutes. It'll be clean as a whistle.
I've got lots of shrapnel in the bottom of the bag. Just for that.
Chris, I struggle to get my Kamado above 250.
Fucking doing it wrong then, mate.
See all the stuff in the bottom of the bag, Andy? All the little shrapnel bits? Perfect for that kind of thing. Just goes...
You've got to put enough charcoal in your tight-fisted Scottish bastard.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
2 briquettes does not 500 degrees make. Now, I mean, I have to say that I would happily try any one of the beers that we've talked about. If any of you guys, right, who are sitting in the chat at the moment, if any of you have a recommendation for beer of the year, something that we should try, please let us know.
Yeah, right? It could be a list for our next commercial drink along.
There we go. That's what I was just about to say, Tricky. You know, we could do that as our next commercial if you boys want to give us some.
Sounds like a plan.
If you want to give us some recommendations for your beer of the year, I'm sure we could find a willing shop to supply them to us for a shout out.
I think we'll wang something up on Discord as well for Patreons.
Most definitely, yes.
So you can have a bit of a thought later on.
Yeah. Now,
I just want to say big shout out to Harmon Brewing for sending me this excellent beer that we mentioned earlier, which I think is the same beer as was on the Burning Sky Malt Miller video. where they tried Brett's beer, and Brett was kind enough to send me a bottle. And
Lucky boy.
yeah, I mean, look at that colour. Look at that.
Yeah.
What was the fruit in that one?
I think it was like blackberry, raspberry. I think Brett's going to have to keep us updated on that. But it's smelling bloody fruity. Aha!
Yeah, I'm going to go and grab a beer.
Yeah,
Muted, Chris.
Well, thanks, Brett.
Why do I always do
Very
this
nice. Blackberry, raspberry, and elderberry. Very well balanced. Not too saison-y, not too sour. Lots of fruit, loads of carbonation. Clean, crisp. That is delightful.
Michael likes a lambic
shit? From Lindemans. Don't they make chocolate?
I think he got Michael. You got the 330s, didn't you? It was like loads of the little 330 bottles. I think he was saying.
I'm not sure it's the same Lindemans as who makes chocolate,
Yeah.
unless they've branched out.
Just asking.
But I've had a couple of lambics from Lindemans. They're kind of the standard label for Belgian lambics, pretty much. They're kind of the big producer of lambics. I made some very nice beer.
One thing that I do want to give a shout out to is Thomas, Santa himself, because currently, how much snow's on the ground where you are, Thomas? Because I do check on the old weather forecast every now and then when I'm bored at work. And apparently you've had quite a bit of snow, haven't you?
18 feet.
He was saying that he'd use his Kamado if he could find a shovel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
When you have to
get the reindeer out.
It's a significant dump, that is.
Yeah, when you have to defrost your Kamado before you want to use it, that's...
Yeah, just a couple of meters of snow. That's all.
heavy,
Defrosting
right?
the garden with the Kamado.
Yeah.
Yeah, like digging it out.
That's just epic. That's exactly what we want. So, one thing that we did decide we were going to do in this podcast, and I think that we really need to do it because, you know, I feel we're at the point where an after party is required for this episode. I'll be honest. Guys, we're going to go with our favorite food pairings that we found. That was War Beer. That sounds like a Newcastle brewery. War Beer. The one thing that I can't remember who came up with this idea during the planning meeting. I think it might have been the banana himself. It may well have been the banana. Was food pairings to go with beers. I think
Yes.
I think what we need to do is we need to start with Biggie B, who currently doesn't have his food pairing on the list because he didn't do the homework I set him, so he's currently in detention.
Oh no, it's because I already have made my food pairing.
Oh,
You've already made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
done it.
He's got it live. Yes.
Okay, so
Go.
there's nothing that says Christmas. There's a few things that says Christmas, okay? One is the Humble Tea Cake by Tonic. I'll get it right. There it is there. Okay. Amazing. And anyone that says a snowball is better than a tea cake is off their head. That's Christmas in a shiny wrapper right there. But there's something else, okay? And that something else is Spam, of course. So every Christmas morning, the whole family, before we open our presents, we will go down and we will prepare the Spam. We don't get the whole animal, okay? We just get like a crown of Spam. And we will make sure it's rubbed in butter, a little bit of truffle oil as well too. Get it nice and seasoned, wrap it in bacon, and it will be put on a nice bed of fresh vegetables into the oven, and that will be the masterpiece of the day, okay? That's a special treat in our house, okay? We don't do turkey and ham anymore. I don't need to because Spam is like, isn't it pork and ham and turkey and probably 6 other meats of unknown origin? Anyway, this is what we have here, okay?
Oof.
So that is a little bit of blue cheese. We've got a nice bit of Spam, another bit of blue cheese, and that is an olive on the end. Need a beer to pair it with. Okay, so
Who the
forgive
fuck
me.
clicked that?
Forgive me. Wasn't me.
Ooh, what's he pouring?
Okay, so this beer it's an imperial. It has to be an imperial when you're eating blue cheese. Stilton. So this is TRO. Okay. TRO means tap room only. This is from Kinnegar. Kinnegar is a brewery just over the border, near Derry. Sorry, Derry City, County London, Derry. I have to say that to keep everybody annoyed. So yeah, this is an imperial brown, which is, so the story behind this is basically they made a tank of this, then they split half the tank, they put it into whiskey barrels, and then they split the other half of the tank and put it into like Italian wine barrels, and then blended it all back together again and put it in. So I think we're going to go for our Christmas on a cocktail stick.
Do a little drum roll.
It's nice. Hold on.
That's nice. Hold on.
That's good. That's good.
Solid choices.
Okay, there's one other thing I have, which was because I've got a can of Spam basically. So we keep, as I said, we keep the main animal for the Christmas day. Okay, so it's only a small can. I have to get rid of it. So this is brie and Spam and a little bit of cranberry sauce in the middle.
A brie sandwich.
That is better than the last one, to be fair.
Nice.
Oh,
Do you
really brings out the wine. And the imperial.
do you go out and hunt the spam?
Do you hunt the spam yourself?
No, it's reared. There's a farm up the road that makes it. They breed them during the year, and then
That's good to know.
So it's always fresh when it comes to us.
It's important to bear in mind
Freshly
welfare
slaughtered
standards for spam.
Oh dear God!
I am actually going to eat the rest of this. Hold on. Delicious.
Better than the first combo.
I think I wasn't ready for the blue cheese. I think that's what it was. It took me by surprise.
Blue cheese and impy. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's you're a weird man. Yeah, Hey, if it rolls, and as long as you're not like killing spam needlessly, as long as you're only harvesting what you need, it's all good.
You got to use the whole spam.
Absolutely.
You can't throw anything away.
No, you can't. Nose to tail on the spam.
Yes, absolutely.
Bit like the haggis, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Wild haggis are the best haggis.
I think nose to tail is very much the calling card of spam, isn't it?
Nose to tail to hoof.
Yeah.
Everything in between.
Oh my God. Yeah. Steve, you're mental. Love you. Let's move to Owen. Let's go in the order.
I'm not sure we can. I don't know
if there's any point.
I can't follow that.
Do comedy.
I mean, I'm not going to eat anything in front of anyone. I haven't prepared anything, but my food pairing is salty chocolate balls and imperial stout.
A comedy classic.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a salty chocolate ball.
That's it.
So it's got to be a bit salty.
Yeah. Andy, what's yours?
Mine's got to be a bacon tatty scone roll, right? But it's a crispy roll. And the tatty scone's got to be fully battered. And then brown sauce. And then with that, have a 10-inch super, 7.5%. Just to offset,
Classic.
Standard breakfast every Sunday.
Yeah.
No, that's special. So when you get married, they have the wedding breakfast at night when when you've got the they come out with the rolls in the buffet and all that. In Scotland, it's all bacon rolls and tatty scone. So
Pizza crunches,
and then you have it with your tenant super.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a few Scottish weddings and I've had that a few times.
Salty in the lager, banging.
Yeah, superb. I mean, that's absolutely. Please don't fucking try any of these. Oh my god. Tricky, what would yours be?
This one caught me on the hop a little bit because I didn't spot this section in the notes beforehand. So
would you like me to go first?
Well, no, I kind of on the fly sort of came up with an idea, and it was more just for pure horror rather than any kind of like actual merit as far as food combination. So I thought you could go down the extreme seafood route and go surströmming and oyster stout. And maybe make that into a game for whoever can last the longest without throwing up drinking that wins the challenge. So
I don't think you'd be able to even open the can.
No.
Well, that's what most of those videos work out like. Don't they? It's just like,
and Thomas is probably eating that shit right now.
Oh, he loves it.
Is it really that bad though? Do you not think these people are just putting it on for the camera?
Well,
I think it genuinely is.
I think it's really bad, but I think a lot of those videos look an awful lot like they've just downed about 4 pints of milk before they then sniff the fish and start projectile vomiting. Like, what looks like
apparently it's nice with a lager.
No, it's not nice at all. It's not nice.
Double down. Go with the oyster stout.
Having been to Iceland recently, one of their delicacies is fermented shark. I also saw, and I was very tempted, on a set menu, was smoked puffin. I really wanted to just go and eat smoked, just so I could have eaten puffin. A mink whale, which was pretty wild.
Mink whale?
Puffins, those
Mink
little
whale.
tiny, cute little creatures that fly about and burrow like rabbits.
Everyone's familiar with a puffin, right?
Have you guys seen puffins in real life?
Is nobody else going to draw attention to the fact that Tricky came on a fly?
Wank puffin.
Nobody else going to draw attention to the fact that Tricky came on a fly? No?
I'm sorry, but this one's better.
Wank puffin! Right. I'm assuming that this is my Tricky. No. Just fucking no. Just no. In the world, no. Just no.
No.
What?
No. No strumming ever. No. No. Just no.
But
Next meet up, bring a can.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
just don't do it. Don't. Because that will get you fucking choked out. No.
You'll be the most popular person at London Craft Beer Festival.
Oh, we forgot about choked out in the bingo.
Yeah. So mine is pretty straightforward and actually really tame compared to everyone else. So I like a nice sourdough loaf with peanut butter, strawberry jam, and I like to wash it down with a Canadian breakfast stout. Now, I know this is supposed to be comedy food pairings. However, it actually really works.
That would work, yeah.
It's very nice. I got a couple of bottles of CBS and I was eating them. Obviously, they're TV beers. Because
CBS is back, apparently.
CBS is back. Founders have stopped being
I saw a post about
shouted at.
Well, I don't know if they're still cancelled or not.
Just leave it. But yeah, I had CBS with like watching a film with the wife, and you know me, I'm a fat bloke. I got hungry, so I had a PBJ, so a peanut butter and strawberry jam sandwich. But I had it on sourdough, and with the Canadian breakfast stout, it was legitimately awesome. I have to say, it was very, very nice. It's not quite blue cheese, olive, spam, and impy stout, but it was a close second. Dry roasted peanuts.
Glorious.
You've got peanuts, Chris. It's peanuts and beer.
They'll
beer are just
they're Luke's favourites. Them. Luke needs lots of them.
I need some spam.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and find a can of spam.
Still time. Christmas dinner next week.
This
So
Christmas.
right, guys, just do me a favour and just cover for me for 2 minutes. I've got to finish this beer because I've got another beer that I really want to drink and I want to review it. I've had a can already, but I need to get another one out.
Oh, I've got
cover
a
for me. I got to
Right.
take a piss behind the tree.
I've got a
Well,
question.
listen.
What's the best beer that you guys have all brewed this year in the homebrew?
Good bloody question.
Right, since we're homebrewers.
Homebrew.
No,
Is that what we're supposed to talk
most of
about?
my beers have been shit this year.
For me, it's either one off the Imperial Stout that I've just brewed, which I was supposed to send out like to you. I will do after Christmas, maybe. It's either that, which is a version of KBS, speaking of KBS or CBS, or New Zealand Pilsner. New Zealand Pilsner all day long is just amazing.
They always work so good, don't they?
I'd go with the.
Smells likely.
Well, the first version of that was actually brewed last year.
Okay, smells Novery.
Nah.
No.
No. I would go with the Focal Spectrum IPA. I think.
Oh, that was
probably
good.
My favourite.
Yeah. That was good, tricky.
Sharks on the Spectrum really good as well. Actually, both of those. Yeah, I think were probably my favourites.
What was the one you gave me? Was it Sharks, actually?
I think you got the Sharks one. No, I might have sent you both.
No, I was at yours.
Oh yeah, no, you had Sharks here, but
was
I sent you the Focal Spectrum one.
So it'd been Sharks.
as beer mail earlier in the year. So
is that I was like
that was very good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot.
That's what made me want to try the hop products like Spectrum and stuff like that.
And both those obviously based on kind of clone recipes as well. So Focal was the Focal's banger, adapted recipe, and then Sharks was the Verdant even Sharks recipe.
I've just purchased myself some Incognito and Spectrum recently.
Excellent.
Which ones did you go for?
Pretty bloody expensive, though, isn't it?
It
yeah,
is.
but it makes it worth it.
I went Citra Mosaic.
Yep.
Classics, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with those, right? I think I went Citra Mosaic and Incognito and Citra Spectrum.
Yeah.
Which I'm then going to mix in with some T90s. But beer of the year for me was probably my SARS Kolsch, which was absolutely banging. And I actually used SARS Cryo in that
Cryo SARS?
Cryo SARS, yeah.
Wow.
That was really, really enjoyable.
Did you get much fruity flavour from the SARS?
No, not super fruity.
Base in it.
Yeah, it was
But why would they put SARS as cryo though?
Oh, it's only 3-4% alpha in it.
Yeah, it's a pretty low alpha hop.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it actually, Steve. I think I won it from a competition, and I just had it in the freezer. And I was like, I need some SARS, so I used the cryo version.
Seems weird.
Worked out really nicely. Yeah, I think
one of those.
Maybe it'd be a good option to use when you mash hop. Would you get more files out of cryo SARS? It would be an expensive way to use it.
It'd be a really expensive way to use it.
But you wouldn't need a lot. Maybe like 20 grams.
It's a
Maybe
weird one, though.
more.
I mean, cryo SARS. I'd give it a go because I love SARS.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like you're dry hopping with cryo. There's maybe not like so much of a use case for having cryo.
Would you whirlpool with it?
Well, what did I do with it? I think I used it at the end of the boil because I was making a Kolsch.
Yeah.
I didn't whirlpool or like dry hop a Kolsch, right?
It's like how much hop characters you want to come through.
No, so it made a great beer. I'm not sure that was down to the hops, to be fair.
Good in the air.
And then the other one was the Nova Lager West Coast. I made a session version of the Firestone Walker Westie that I've done before, and that came out. That came out really nicely.
You're getting shouted at. You're getting shouted at.
It's like Kolsch.
Kolsch. Sorry, Santa. I know it's a bad time of year to be, getting things wrong.
You're on a fucking naughty list, bitch.
I'm on the naughty list. I look forward to my one piece of charcoal, which I'll put on the Kamado and get to 250 degrees.
Yes. Max Boost.
Can I just say, when it comes to comedy food pairings, Ron Muir's found something which is not a comedy food pairing, which legitimately works, and that is cake with cheese.
Cake and cheese, yeah, classic, old school.
Fruit cake, proper fruit cake with a really good cheese, specifically Wensleydale, because obviously it's fucking Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, no.
I mean, I suppose you could have like a tiramisu, isn't it? It's like cake, but it's soaked in Marsala wine and mascarpone cheese on top of it. So technically,
I've already put that comment up from Dr. Sam. I would love to make a proper cheesecake, but I would like to put shaved like Wensleydale in it when I'm making the batter.
Chris,
but I don't quite have the balls to do it.
Yeah, you're classic Yorkshireman.
What's your beer, your homebrew of the year?
My homebrew of the year would have to be my low ABV.
Yeah.
Version 7. Yeah. I would go version 7 every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It was phenomenally drinkable.
Yeah, that's
such a good one.
And the thing is, right, you can have, see, the great thing with the low ABV I found was you could go and have like a pint and then you could still go and play with the kids sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like off your game or anything like that. You can, it's like, you can have a beer during the day and then just be on the life sort of thing. That's
I found that when you were barbecuing, it was perfect for being the chef on a barbecue.
Yeah, because normally you still get your focus.
You're so hot and you're there and you're doing your thing and you've got to be on it with the timings and everything and you got to you're turning this. And if you go with like, if you go with sort of a Hefe or something like that, it's a bit of an issue.
Just like, meh, can't be bothered.
It's like, fuck it. And then you got burnt chicken and everybody's crying and, the world's coming to an end.
It's not that you can't be bothered. It's normally that everything just ends up on fire. That's the problem. It's you want to avoid that where it's like 4-foot flames coming out the top of it.
Yeah. The one thing that I
think
found
those wings are a bit overdone.
I have actually seen a dude who has got a rotisserie and he's chopped the very tip of the wing, the wingtip, that pointy bit with no fucking meat on. He's chopped them off and then he's mounted a load of chicken wings on a rotis and he's got them going and he's constantly basting them and getting them. Fuck, I got to give that one a go. Because we know how good chicken wings are literally the best fucking thing on earth to eat. I love chicken wings. That's why I buy them 70 at a time when I buy them from because there's a chicken shop just down the road from me, as you all know, because you've heard me yatter on about it forever. But if you get like Kelly-bab on a rotis.
Dude, I've got Kelly-bab in the fridge right now, marinating for tomorrow.
Oh, you bastard.
Oh, you cunt.
Literally, that's so funny you mentioned that as well, because I was doing all the basting of it just tonight.
It is legit. It is legit. Have you done Kelly-bab yet, Biggie?
Yes, Biggie, many times. It's amazing.
Yeah,
any kind of family do we have. Anyone comes around here, I'll have it on because it's just
bulletproof recipe.
So good.
Pound for pound, it is probably the most it's the cheapest.
Oh, crowd pleaser though as well, isn't it?
Like you can't, cheapest, but it's just like
except for the vegetarians, they don't. Like
well, yeah. Fuck them.
Who gives a shit about them?
They can just vegetarian. Oh, sorry. See you later.
There's some salad. Crack on.
If they're lucky, you've made them a tomato pie, but that's about the best you can offer.
Yeah, but I base mine with beef tallow.
Well, to be fair, there's normally some pork cooking over the top of that on my barbecue, just dripping down onto it. Sorry, guys.
It's vegetarian.
It tastes better with the pork fat, trust me.
So, anyway, I said I was going to get a beer out, and I'm getting it out for a reason, okay? And I'm drinking Rolling Papers again. Right, now I'm drinking this beer for one simple reason, and it's because it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, this is an amazing, amazing beer. Now, you notice I've left this alone for a while, okay? I've rinsed my palate, and what I want to do is I want to give you guys just the nose of this beer, okay? I'm getting pineapple.
I think I see where this is going.
and I'm getting massive amounts of tropical fruit, weirdly enough.
Which types of tropical fruit, Chris?
If I was going to pick one tropical fruit, I would probably go with pineapple. However, everybody else has typed it out, right? Okay, they've typed it out and they're all waiting to press send. That's
Slight
what they're doing.
Go early,
of
get disqualified. by the way.
lychee in there as well, maybe.
There's a smidge of lychee, but not very much. You know, I'm feeling a kind of an umbongo vibe.
A little bit of
Michael shot his look too early.
Oh, Michael shot his bolt too early. The boy priori expormatosi, which is Greek for premature ejaculation, by the way.
What about dragon fruit? You got any dragon fruit in there?
There's no dragon fruit in this. I'm getting a very faint whiff of
Guava.
apple.
Guava.
There's some guava. It's not
Orange.
The guava isn't strong. There's a smidge of orange, but more specifically, I would say that it's probably tangerine. Yeah, it's probably tangerine. Really nice beer, though. Everybody, I would recommend that you go.
You got papaya in there as well.
There's a smidge of papaya, but it's not very much.
Love a bit of papaya, Chris.
Here we go.
I think it's
Lukey
Luke.
Stevens.
It's
Lukey Stevens. Well done, Luke.
I hate to split hairs, but Lukey didn't put an exclamation mark on it.
He didn't. However, if I send anything else to Brett, he's going to think he's our favourite.
I think he is the biggest fan.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send one out to Lukey, and I'm going to send one to Brett, and I'm going to send one to Mark Collyfish as well.
Whoa.
I'm going to be really kind. I'm going to send one to each of them. Okay, I've got all your addresses.
It's really kind of you to send them all that smoked lager kit. That's
what I'm going to send them. No, I'm not really. I'm not going to send them.
The Stilton smoked lager kit. Yeah,
right.
That is the one beer of the year for you guys.
Who wants the smoked lager kit from the malt miller? Put your hand up. Put your hand up if you want the smoked lager kit. Now, I'm going to send it to Luke because, to be fair, he did get in there first, and the exclamation mark and everything is, whatever. It's fine.
You were very specific.
I was.
The explanation.
Do you know what I'm going to do then? Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm such a fucking kind guy, right? I'm going to send Brett the kit, and I'm going to send Luke, and I'm going to send Collie. I'm going to send them like a Hop Edition gift bag. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. So Brett wins. Luke gets himself a kit.
How did Brett win?
Because he was the first one to put it in there with an exclamation mark in all capitals.
He was the first one to follow the rules.
He was.
He
was.
Anyway, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Now, whilst we're all talking about this kind of shit, we've got to wait for Biggie B to come back because he doesn't have any idea. Although he probably does have the notes up, doesn't he? So we have a 5-question quiz for you guys. That's what we've got going off now. Andy's killing things.
Still get flies in here.
Give me a double thumbs up, man. I need to see the fireworks. Yeah, look at the fucking twat.
But what you need, right, is this, Chris.
Ooh. I know, I did see the rain. The rain is very good. Okay, so I'm going to take over as quizmaster right now. All you guys can sit back and drink beer. Biggie B's got his headphones on. Okay, right. Do you have the notes open right now, Biggie?
I do indeed, yes.
Close them right now.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, hold on.
There is, I will just add, there is now a Google Forms link in the chat for entry of the answers to said questions.
Owen's got flies as well. I've just got fucking mice. Incidentally, I think there's another dead one in the trap. It's flashing green. Anyway, so what we're going to do now, we've got 5 questions to go. 5 questions. Whoever gets this random, so whoever gets the most score, we'll put you into a random wheel. We're gonna collect this one. Okay, we're gonna randomize it. And the person who's chosen at random from the person with the highest score is going to get a Hop Edition goodie bag. I'm going to send it out to you. I will do my very, very best to make sure it's with you before Christmas, but it might end up being slightly after. Okay? So we've got 5 questions. These 5 questions are very important questions because they will test your knowledge as a home brewer. Okay? This is what we're going to come down to right now. So, If you got the form open, give me a yes on the chat. Give me a yes on the chat if you got the form open. Let's go. Come on.
Let us know, guys. Let us know if the form's working.
No, not the porn, the form.
The pot. Sorry,
Porn's
that
always
was a link to porn. I apologise, everyone.
He's posted some porn links. Good lad. Okay, is it any good? Is it like weird shit porn, or is it just like
it's really weird. Yeah.
Is
I'm
it
up.
ginger midgets who look like Anthony Warrell
it's,
Thompson porn?
It's homebrewing themed porn. That's what I tend to watch
Oh
now.
dear lord.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how we're going to
Shiny
get that one.
porn.
Yeah.
Okay, shiny porn. Okay, so
it's Andy flexing in front of his 14-gallon.
guys,
fermenter.
one thing that I do want to say right now is please play this one legit. I don't want anybody to be Googling this because that's just cheating and it's wrong. And the only person you're going to cheat is yourself. All right? Don't cheat. Please don't cheat. Okay? So, the first question, 5 questions for a Hop Edition goodie bag. What is the yeast, Y yeast 2112 normally used to brew? What is that normally used to brew? 2112. Please don't Google.
That's a toughie. That's a tough.
I'm going to go beer.
It does brew beer. However, we want you to be more specific than that. Bananas. Is banana entering? Are you entering in this quiz, Biggie?
I'm not going to, but I actually know the answer to that. So this is a bit weird.
You can
This is
shout
awkward.
out when we get to the end.
It's going to be awkward if we end up having to give you a prize, Stevie.
I'll send him a prize anyway.
I have
So-
spam. Don't worry, I have my prize.
He's got his spam and some random brie. How can you eat brie, by the way? It literally
brie is
tastes
amazing.
horrific.
No,
amazing.
it's
A
A nice matured, warm brie.
It tastes
Hard to
brie,
horrific.
cranberry, and bacon. Like, what a combo.
Okay,
Oh, I'm getting a lot
second
on.
question. Second
Sorry,
question
I
is, which is darker on the EBC scale? Is it Carapils or Carahel?
Oh, good question.
And we're talking about Weyermann's Carapils or Carahel.
Oh,
Because those were the numbers that I looked at. Okay. So, third question, because I'm assuming that these questions are on the form, Owen. Is that right?
Hmm.
Okay. The third question is, what are the key flavor additions in a Belgian wit beer? Okay. Now, question 4 is a tricky one, so you're going to have your listening ears on for this one, boys, and any ladies or whatever you identify as. If the recommended pitch rate for a lager with an original gravity of 1055 is fermented at 10 degrees with global, and that pitch rate is 4.35 billion cells, the expected fermentation time for that is 11 days prior to a diacetyl rest. Why don't more people just use quike? That's the question. Okay? All right. It's a good one. It's a good one, that one. Question 5. What is the alpha acid percentage value for Cryocitra from YCH? That is Yakima Chief hops. I will allow you a range. The answer is not Hefeweizen, Brooksy. All right. I'm going to allow you a range, and any answer within that range, I will allow you to have a correct answer for. Okay. So, Y yeast 2112. What is that normally used to brew? Which is darker on the EBC scale? Is that Carapils or Carahel? Weyermann's Carapils or Carahel? What are the key flavor additions for a Belgian wit beer? If the recommended pitch rate for a lager with an OG of 1055 is fermented at 10 degrees with global, and that is 4.35 billion cells, the expected fermentation time is 11 days prior to the diacetyl rest. Why don't more people just use quike? Number 5, what is the alpha acid percentage value for Cryocitra from YCH? Okay, those are your questions. Do we have any answers coming in yet, Owen?
We do have some answers coming in, yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is us lads are going to have a beer. We're going to have a little chat. I'm going to go and have a piss. You've got 5 minutes to finish those questions. 5 minutes. starting now. So at 10 minutes past 10,
Go.
we're ending that one. All right, just to let you know.
Train up
So
the
I
cheek
thought
as
I'd
well.
have a Christmas-themed beer, as it's the Christmas special. I've
Oh,
got
you
a Brew
dirty
York
bastard.
Nightmare of Brew York Imperial
Nice.
Milk Stout, which was part of my advent calendar that I got from the
I was
local
going to
bottle
ask.
shop.
You
Yeah.
scumbag, you
Yes.
maggot, you cheap, lousy meatball.
On the front, it says creamy stollen, loaded with pistachios, marzipan, and festive spice.
Oh,
no.
festive spice.
And then I turned the can around, and to my absolute horror, I read on the back, the spice blend consists of cinnamon, cardamom, and allspice.
Oh, nice.
Oh no!
And you know I love a spiced beer.
We've got the
Not at
remakings of
all.
a
There's
of
a
an
lot going on there.
infamous YouTube video.
Yeah. I've drunk a bit of it. I've not had to throw it away yet, but yeah.
No?
Mm,
No,
mm.
is it a grower? Give it 5 minutes. Just have a few
I
sips.
tell you what,
and
the base beer, as a fairly,
Keep your
Full-
allspice to your Kelly Babs. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I think it might be going that way. Yeah,
allspice
As-
is a
as a-
dangerous thing to put in a beer.
as a fairly hefty sort of milk stout base, it's a nice beer. I don't know if pistachios are in there in any actual meaningful way, but I'm not really picking up on that. The ingredients list doesn't mention pistachios anywhere, so I don't know how they can put that on the front. But yeah, the spice. Yeah, luckily the cardamom is not really coming through particularly strong, but that and the allspice is enough just to make it a little bit too.
You're a big fan of cardamom, don't you, Trick?
Do you know what it makes it taste like? It makes it taste like there's like sort of Coca-Cola mixed in with it or something, and like a really heavy kind of like cola type flavor underneath the. It's weird. I don't like it.
I actually had a similar experience to use with cardamom, Richard.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tricky. Am I okay?
You can use whichever.
I know. I wasn't sure whether I was contractually obliged to call you Tricky or what. But
You can call me the dude if you like. That's fine. Well, his
the dude.
dudeness.
Okay.
The answer's to dickhead as well if you
Israel.
shout it loud enough.
Call me a cunt if you like.
But yeah,
Yeah,
basically,
that's pretty
it
common
made,
one as well.
It made the beer turn out like drain cleaner or something like that. It was absolutely
Yeah,
horrific.
it's
So
quite
bad.
potent, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 How much did you use when you put it in?
Too much.
Too
was
much.
the
Yes,
answer, yeah.
that was my
I
experience.
mean, how can
as well.
something so small taste so?
Well, this was
massive,
my thing as well. I like broke a pod apart and like literally counted the little seeds out, and it still completely fucked it up. But it's just like mouthwash,
Yes,
isn't it? If it go too heavy on it.
Tricky, can I ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
How much is going off in that beer?
It's a lot going on in that beer, Chris. There's a lot going on.
Ah, we got it!
That would be my bingo entry there, wouldn't it? But
There's a lot going off there.
all I can say is thank fuck they didn't put some smoked malt in there as well, because that would have really, really ruined it and turned it into a sour milk stout as well.
Oh, fuck.
Could have been
Right.
worse. It could have been worse, but yeah, I just have a real problem with Christmas beers where they've got the spicing in them. It
That's
just
because
seems
most of them are shit.
Yeah, well, the thing for me is like you can kind of introduce a little bit of spicy flavor by doing other things other than just smashing loads of fucking cinnamon or clove or cardamom or allspice in this case into it. Like, the Christmas beer that won our homebrew competition locally was a barley wine, and it had some kind of fruity fruitcake sort of spiciness to it just from being a barley wine, basically. No other fancy ingredients in there. And yeah, don't put fucking cardamom in bed. Just don't.
Yeah.
Hang on, just a sec. I'm getting some information from Brett here, and he says that Brooksy has decided to watch the final of Strictly Come Dancing over this, so he deserves to be sent the smoke beer. No, he doesn't. He deserves to be sent to purgatory for that. What the? He's watching Strictly as opposed to watching this. The chances to win. There's 2 chances to win in this podcast, and he's watching Strictly. Fuck me.
Oh, fuck. I've got Michael's MP. So Michael, who's on the chat just now, I've just poured his Imperial Stout. I'm sure it's barrel-aged as well, and it is... I'm just getting that pure whiskey sort of...
Is that a pint?
Yeah, it came in the big...
Oh,
boy. It came in the big boy bottle.
You're in trouble. You've got church tomorrow, son.
I think Brett was just
Good
trying
luck,
to
my
influence
friend.
the prize allocation there, to be fair.
Dastardly
tactics.
Well, listen, if we're all cracking impies,
Oh my god, yes. Oh, fuck.
it's time.
It's time for Impy Owen.
Go on, Andy. You tell us
Yeah.
all about Michael's impy, because
Michael's
it sounded
MP,
amazing.
like, dude, this thing is fucking insane. Sorry for swearing, but
Oh,
the wood character that comes through in this, because
did
it's
I accidentally
barrel-aged.
start the impy wave there?
Yes,
Oh,
you did.
Yeah.
Although I'm
But
not sure 8.5% counts, I might have to go and get a proper one.
I'll be honest
Right,
with you.
so
boys.
nice-
I
right, there you go.
can't
Like
have
a-
Sorry, Andy, go.
12.1.
Looking over you.
So it's 9.4. It's Cowella.
What are
The
you
what
saying?
now? Say
What
that
was
again.
that?
Cow
Have another go.
Cowella.
Andy's just developed Tourette's.
It's on the screen, Andy. Andy, it's
Someone
on
on
the
the
screen.
effects.
you
Is he having a
bell
stroke?
No,
Andy?
it's
Nod twice if you're in danger.
Cole a la barrel. So it
Cowella.
sounds like mine.
Yeah, but it's very smoky. It's like a kind of peaty, smoky type whiskey. Beautiful. And Michael's put a stout in it. And
Was that a koala emoji?
koala? But
Koala.
that is the beer. It is.
Koala. It's a drop
It's got that smokiness. It does bring the smoky. Oh, fuck. Yes. Just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very special. Thank you,
Can
Michael.
I just say very quietly to everybody who's listening to the podcast right now, these guys chuntering is giving you an extra 2 or 3 minutes to enter the quiz. You might want to get that one on.
But you're getting berry.
Get that one on.
There's a berry thing going on with the very good. Very, very good. And it lingers in your mouth as well. It's one of those stouts that just sticks about. So as a homebrew, this is insane.
Any more innuendos?
Can I just say that whilst we may have played Millington Bingo, we currently have Andy's cum face live on the video.
Where's the wank sock? Where's the Imperial wank sock gone?
This is the thing, right? So I've had 2 beers tonight from our listeners. So I had Lucky's Marlin Lager, and that was insane, like super bready malty sort of lager. I don't know if any of you boys have had it, but wow, that is, and it was super clear. And
I haven't had the pleasure, Luke.
Yeah.
I think you have my address.
I messaged him separately and told him how much of a banger it was. But it kicked today, yesterday, I think he said. So he needs to get it rebrewed. But yeah, what couple of absolute bangers I've had sent in the old beer mail. So thanks, lads.
You're having a big banana beer? Oh, wow.
Graham Hughes is having a Biggie B beer.
Well, which one are you having? Oh, when was the last time I sent you beer, Graham? I don't even know.
Graham has a
Last-
habit of keeping beers for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I hope it's Imperial because
This is
That smoked
Graham.
one.
It's probably been in his fridge for a year.
Alan, the one that would probably keep well, Stephen, was that smoked one you sent us. Was it smoked one?
yeah, yes, the red one, yeah, can't remember I can't even remember what it was called now.
You sent us one
Yeah,
this
it was a
time last
smoked
year.
red.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was amazing. I love smoked beers, and obviously because I like smoky whiskies as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was like literally a full bottle of peated whiskey in there, as well as smoked malt. So it was a bit too much, I think, to be fair. But here, yes, I'm also having an imperial. So this is from Vocation. This is their mint. What is it? Mint chocolate stout at only 12.2%. And this thing is absolutely amazing. It is literally an after eight mint that you've dipped in bourbon just before you put it into your mouth. It's absolutely incredible.
I'm drinking I'm banging the elephant tonight. This is the Imperial Stout. It's a rum barrel-aged Imperial Stout called, unsurprisingly, Rum Ra. I think it might have a picture of
The
that
He-Man
bloke.
character on there, yeah.
He-Man character.
Oh, Skeletor.
Skeletor? No.
No, Mumra's Thundercats.
Mumra's
Thundercat.
Yeah.
Thundercats. Yeah. And it is it's deliciously thick. It's not too rummy, if I'm honest, which is great. It's well balanced. Sometimes, especially I think when you get whiskey barrel aged Imperial stouts, sometimes they can just be too much on the whiskey barrel thing.
No, I know what you
Nope.
mean. Yeah.
I'm massive. I don't know, you guys whiskey drinkers or?
Yeah, I'm a whiskey drinker.
I used to be before I started brewing.
All right, okay.
No, it's just like beer.
It's funny that you like you say. I've my whiskey drinking did drop off, but I've kicked
one
it
of my
back again a wee
favourites.
bit.
You probably drunk a bit of that, and you, Stevie?
What is it? I can't really see it.
A Redbreast.
Put it up to the screen.
You had any Redbreast Irish whiskey?
I've had breasts, yes, but I'm not sure if they've been red.
You should check out Redbreast.
Okay.
It's a great whiskey.
Okay, I shall have a look. I honestly, I prefer Scotch whiskey to Irish whiskey. I know that's probably me signing my own death warrant by saying that, but something about Scotch whiskey is just amazing. The Irish stuff can be a bit peppery.
Yeah, I think it's for me, it's a little bit like that's more of a drinkable whiskey than a lot of the Scottish whiskies, which a lot of them can be like pretty in your face,
TCP,
like smoky, salty.
Yes,
they're like some of them are just they're dark. They are dark in their nature, right? Not all of them. There's a breadth of Scottish whiskey as wide as there is beer, I think. But I bought a bottle of Lagavulin the other day, 16-year.
Where's the face?
Looking forward to that. Big Pete.
Wow,
Big Pete.
Love
Pete.
that.
Nice.
There you go. Oh.
The Scots are wading in the chat. Irish whiskey's too sweet.
Yeah.
I'm a bourbon drinker as well. I'll admit it. I'm a bourbon drinker. I quite like a sweet whiskey. Dr. Sam weighing in on the Talisker.
Talisker, yeah, is nice.
It is.
It's nice.
We do have Talisker. Still got. Get some Sky. Talisker Sky. Sky's a lot. Instead of 10's more in your face. The Sky's a bit more kind of thingied back, keyed back on the old smokiness. Oh.
Are you not getting some optics in there, Andy?
And
you ought to be.
Where's the optics?
Oh, you do have some, all right.
Good lad.
Oh, there is. There we go. There is optics kicking about in here. There we go.
Oh yes, nice.
Nah, I've not bothered. I've not putting them up, but yeah, there is optics kicking about. I did get some, but nah.
Listen,
I've got loads of bottles.
Whiskey for like the last 5 minutes. What's going on?
Oh.
Wow, I think we do need to now start. We've given you long enough.
Yeah.
We need to wrap up the quiz,
We've
boys.
We've given you long enough for the quiz. We have had a slight technical issue.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to have to lean into the honesty of this group. All right?
Good luck with that.
I want you to post a thumbs up in the chat for the answer to the first question, which was, what is the yeast? Why yeast 2112 normally used to brew? Okay.
Let Stevie B answer.
Go on, Steve B.
The Cali Lager yeast.
Yes. So if you said California Common, post a thumbs up in the chat.
And don't cheat.
Technically, it's called California Lager rather than Cali Common. So,
all right,
there is a kind of difference.
Good. Okay. Post a thumbs up if you said that. What is darker on the EBC scale, Carapils or Carahels? And you said Carahel.
Definitely.
Nice. Thank you. Post a thumbs up if you said the answer to question 3 was coriander and orange peel.
Yes, I'm going well here. 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3 bananas, hot to trot.
It's all going to go off the rails now.
If you said, in response to question 4, which was very long, about whether or not you should use a lager yeast and why people don't use Kvike, if you said, because it's not a lager, or for the purity of lagers, please post a thumbs up in the chat.
I do believe that the actual answer to that was because Tricky's head would explode as he screams it's not a fucking lager at you.
Yeah, because it's like kissing your sister.
No, it's not
Like
kissing
your sister.
It doesn't count.
Of course it counts.
It does count.
Brilliant.
That's what we heard from
Don't tell them.
professional brewers. you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
Just because they're wrong doesn't mean everyone else is right.
Oh, it's too good.
And post a thumbs up in the chat if you said that the alpha acid percentage value for Cryo Citra was between 21 and 28%.
Is it? Fucking hell. What?
That's how high it is for
Holy
Cryo Citra,
shit.
mate.
Well, that's
And
me.
for anyone that posted
Double
already
concentrate.
robbed in bingo, so don't care, then have another beer.
Owen, I'm going to leave you to organise those answers, mate.
I am going to come back to you with the winner
This might
Of
take
the-
some time.
quiz
Just pick a name at random.
once
your
I've calculated. Big Banana, what was your answer on question 5?
My answer was 11%. So that's completely out the wall. My answer for number 4 was I don't understand the question. So we
Yeah,
got 3 out of
um,
5 there.
You're
I'm
not
not being
alone.
funny. The question was
13.
very clear.
The question was very long. It sounded a bit fancy and just I zoned out just for a second. Well, I was actually about 60 seconds because that's how long the question was.
Oh dear, I've got hiccups. And
Oh,
it's
that
not-
means you're steaming.
I'm not. That's the thing. I've got to get up and take the wife to work at 7 o'clock. Okay, I think we can safely say that the winner of that quiz was me.
I don't think we can safely say that that was the case.
I got all 5 right because I fucking wrote them.
Nah.
I don't think it was Brooksy though. I
It
know
definitely
that.
wasn't. Definitely
No.
wasn't Brooksy.
He's pretending he's here, but he's really watching Strictly.
He is. He's got his thumb up fucking 7s! Arsehole, hasn't he? That's what he's got.
Right.
I think this is the
I
last thing
am-
before we get to the after party, boys. So fucking give me an answer.
Right.
fuck off.
I found a winner. Drum roll, please.
Way.
The winner of the Christmas special Hop Edition quiz is Ron.
Romeo!
Ron, you are a legend at Magic Flag Brewing. Congratulations on getting 4 out of 5 answers correct. Well done. Woohoo! Ron Muir's all over it. What does Ron win?
Merch.
Ron wins a merch kit.
A merch kit. Nice. Thanks for answering, everyone. Bad luck if you didn't win. There's always next year.
Yeah, there's always next year. I'm probably not going to do a quiz next year, but there's always next year. Okay, if you want to join the after party, can I just say that this was originally one of the questions on Millington Bingo. I understand why it was changed. However, one of the things that I would like to say is, guys, that is episode 83 in the bag. It's in the bag, boys. We've done it. We've made it through to Christmas. So everybody, Merry Christmas, you motherfuckers. And if you happen to be a pagan like me,
motherfuckers.
if you happen to be a pagan like me, Happy Saturnalia. Enjoy yourselves, do your thing, you know, because it's not like the fucking Bible bashers didn't nick our fucking season or anything, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. We share it because that's the kind of people that we are. So, have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourselves. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it is that you celebrate, just celebrate with your family because that's the most important part. Okay. And remember, it's not about what you receive, it's about what you give. Whether that be love, whether that be hugs, whatever it is, just remember, whatever you give is the most important thing. So, we're going to go to an after party now. I'm going to post a link because that's the kind of thing that I do. So if you want to join the after party, there's a link. I will post it in Discord in just a moment for those of you who do not seem to like social media. There's a few of them, including Santa, and I understand the amount of criticism Santa would get if he was on social media is just ridiculous. So,
secret. He only tells us his secrets. That's all.
He does. That's what it is. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for joining us. We will be back on the 30th, where we will be getting even pisser. If you think we're pissed now, if you think that we're pissed now, we are going to be pisser.
Are you
We're going to be bringing out a cider.
Is it even possible to get pisser than this?
We're going to be getting pisser than we are right now. I tell you now. Anyway, that went Welsh. Weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to move to the after party. We're going to have a good after party. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to have some drinking. We're going to talk about all the beers and all that sort of stuff. So I want to say thank you to everybody, including our Patreons, including the Malt Miller, including all of you guys who've joined us live. All 21 of you. There were 25 at one point. I don't know what happened to the other 4.
That's so cool.
Biggie B, I know you haven't said very much, but dude, we fucking love you. You're amazing.
Yeah, class.
You are.
I'm trying not to talk over everybody. This is the thing. I'm trying not to talk. Whenever
just talk. We're used to it with guests. We shut the fuck up. That's how it works.
All right. You may have told me that before.
That's how we roll.
At the beginning.
That's how we roll. So, guys, we love you all. We're going to go. We're going to have fun. So, Biggie, don't leave. Stay where you are. Don't click anything. All right. Episode 83 in the bag. Thanks to our sponsor, the Malt Miller. Thank you very much to our Patrons. And thank you to all of you. Click the link. Go to subscribe. Click the bell. Or whatever it is. I don't even know how it works. Click the bell. And we will catch you on the 30th, where we will be getting pisser than we are right now. Okay?
Pisser.
Take it easy, boys. We'll catch you soon. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
See you guys. Merry Christmas.
Goodbye.
Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Ho, ho, ho. Now I've got a machine gun. Bye.